The following podcast contains naughty language and ridiculous situations. Listener discretion is advised.
One of the most popular horror films to be coming out in the past year has been streaming on Shudder, and it's called Deadstream. I'm sure you've seen it. I know I've seen it. I know the boys have seen it. And I liked it. You liked it. I know the boys liked it. And it's also going to be hitting Blu-ray very soon on July 18th, 2023 in a steelbook form. Now, this all sounds great, good, awesome, wonderful, and lovely, but there is one little caveat, and that is that you have to embarrass yourself by bringing yourself to Walmart. Now, every now and again, you have to do these sort of things, sacrifice your morals and shit like that. But you know what? Deadstream is worth it because there's a shit ton of extras that come along with this. Like I said, it's steelbook, putting out by Shudder, and it'll be a nice addition to your video library. So look for it. It's going to be coming out July 18th. And welcome to Trick or Treat Radio.
Welcome to episode 568 of Trick or Treat Radio. Trick or Treat Radio is the world's most dangerous podcast and is recorded in front of an undead studio audience here at Castle Wolfenstein, also at the Lair of Lost Swag within the Raven Chateau, and the attic in Casa de -0. It is the three of us. We are live. We're back on Thursday. And tonight, just going to get right to it because we've got a lot to talk about in the intro. But on this evening show, we'll be talking about the film Brooklyn 45, the Shudder exclusive from director Ted Gagan, who is an alumni of the show. Well, alumni guest. We've had him on the show before. And to talk about We Are Still Here, his great film from a few years ago. But looking forward to talking with the boys, the boys, as we were called in the intro. When I think of boys, I think of Dalton Castle from AEW and his boys. Is that what you think of, Raven Channel?
Well, I mean, yeah, like that's wrestling term. We're going to talk some wrestling, I'm sure, tonight. But, the boys in the back, I've said that before, that's how the boys do.
So
the Three Stooges, they usually called the boys.
Well, you could call us the Stooges. That'd probably be more appreciated. So we're going to be talking about Brooklyn 45. Looking forward to chatting about that. New Ted Gagan joint. And always look forward to his flicks. He's a really great dude. And he also a great filmmaker. So looking forward to talking about that. See if we dig it. See if we recommend it. And yeah, we got a lot to get to in terms of Coffin Corner. Unfortunately, there was a lot of people that had passed, both good and bad, I guess. I hate to say that, but there's at least one person that passed away this week that I think no one is sad about. I'll say that. And Raven Shadow, what's on your head? What is that? What happened to your hair?
Well,
did you have a hair mishap?
A mishap, yeah. No, I know. That's the first time my head's been covered.
Ever?
More than just...
Ever? I don't think I've ever seen you cover your hair.
Yeah, never.
Never, aside from headphones, but...
oh, wait.
Where,
that time you wore that hat that you got ridiculed about?
Oh, yeah, that too.
That's the only time.
That's not what you think it meant.
The very first baseball hat we see him in, and it's that.
No.
Yeah.
I used to rock my old black Boston one before DiCaprio had one.
Wait,
departed.
You said Boston. Do you mean Boston?
It's a Boston.
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 Worcester, Boston.
Worcester, Boston. But no, so I'm took a week off. Marion's helping me doing some house projects. Been painting the Raven boudoir. Yeah.
Did you hold up a black light to it first?
no.
Okay, good.
Uh,
Be some Jackson
that's-
Pollock shit up in there.
and some all the Jacksons will be there. Not just Pollock.
Oh, Michael?
Yeah, it's weird.
What, are you tossing Jesus juice on the wall?
Some weird fucking nights, I'll tell you that, Wolfie. But no, I'm painting that in the hallway. But I had just to pull everything out. So I have my bed in the living room. I got TVs in here. I got all kinds of shit. So we're trying to keep painting. I wanted to get in the shower and be done before Thursday, which is today. But we got delayed a little bit. So I just threw a little do rag on. I don't want to get paint in my hair, whether it's long or short.
It'll come out, you know.
Yeah, I just don't even want to have to deal with it.
Are you painting the walls gray, and you don't want to have any gray in your hair even for like a half a second?
That's funny, Wolfie. It is it's a little charcoal thing going on. It's fun.
I think you mean salt and pepper.
Ooh, push it, baby. Yeah, it's nice though. Took everything down, spackled, put the fucking
Spackled.
Spackled. I think.
Backled.
Jesus.
And I gotta say, I gotta give big ups to two people.
Big ups to all painters of the world, because it sucks.
Well, yeah, it sucks. If you know any painters, private message me. But no, I want to thank Buddy R for coming over on Wednesday, and there was an outlet behind the futon in the studio that was kind of fucking must have got bent or broken or something. And there may have been a couple of sparks coming out, so he came over and helped fix that for me, and that was cool. And then Marion, though, has been the unsung hero of the reorg. She's been fantastic, so thank you, Marion.
I think you can probably nominate her the unsung hero of this continuity. Just in general.
That's true. That's true. That's the exact realistic statement. Treat.
So there you go. Well, I mean, you still didn't describe what was on your head. We got a whole other thing. But Raven Shadow is wearing what you would consider, I guess, a do-rag, or it's a what would you call it? You Bloods or Crips?
A bandana? No, baby. Ooh, baby. You know what I mean?
He's representing Hulkamania, brother.
Yeah.
Tui.
Yeah, someone's gonna make him humble.
You're open.
So yeah, there you go. And when Raven Shadow was, because I saw you were moving stuff out of the studio earlier when I had connected up just to, make sure we're all ready to go. And I saw was there a headboard or something like that? Did you have your bed in there or something?
Yeah, so I moved the headboard out. Which I need to. I'm getting a new headboard. They're fucking sexy, dude.
Jesus.
It's a sexy fucking headboard, dude.
Sexy headboard, huh?
Yeah.
So, anyways, Raven Shadow, he came in and he was taking stuff out of the studio, and he was wearing a tank top and the bandana on his head, and he looked like, if anyone knows what I mean, he looked like the hide your kids, hide your wife guy. But he doesn't even know what that is. So let me see if I can find it on YouTube or something. It was one of the first, I don't know if you guys know Songify. It was one of the first Songify videos that I remember seeing. Here we go. Hide your kids, hide your wife. Oh, Antoine Dodson. That's
Yeah, it's because he rescued. He was the reason he rescued someone, didn't he? That's why
someone. Yeah, that's what it was. Someone broke in.
Yeah.
All right. I'll just play a few seconds of it. I don't want to.
Well,
Here.
Obviously we have a rapist in Lincoln Park. He's climbing in your windows, he's snatching your people up, trying to rape them, so y'all need to hide your kids, hide your wife, hide your kids, hide your wife, hide your kids, hide your wife, and hide your husband, cause they raping everybody out here. You don't have to come and confess. We're looking for you. We gon' find you. We gon' find you so you can run and tell that. Run and tell that. Run and tell that. Homeboy, homeboy. We got your t-shirt and the left fingerprints and all. You are so dumb.
You are so
really
dumb. All right. Hide your kids, hide your wife.
You know what you want about auto-tune. When it works, it works.
Yeah, I mean, those Songify were really good. I guess they're still doing it, but yeah. So he's wearing the same color bandana and a tank top Raven Shadow. So like that's why.
Yeah.
When I see that get up, that's all I can think about. You're gonna just put that song on repeat.
Yeah, if I type in "hide your kids, hide your wives" on the
that'll show up, but it's also if you search "bed intruder song," that's the name of the video. But if you do "hide your kids, hide your wife," that'll also show up.
Like Ben Intruder or Bed Intruder?
Bed intruder
Bed.
song.
As in, go to bed. You're wasted.
Not yet.
All right, so let's get to Coffin Corner so we can get all the sad shit out of the way. So this happened because we
got something we got to do.
Because last week we broadcasted on Tuesday, so therefore we were a little bit behind on some of the news that occurred. But we lost one of the legends of 80s wrestling, the Iron Sheik, and the funny thing is most people probably don't even know him from wrestling. Most people probably know him from Twitter, because he definitely had a second career, just tweeting about stuff on Twitter, and it was almost always hilarious. And he usually was very much in support of civil rights and things like that. So it wasn't like he was a fucking like a MAGA hat wearing, or anything like that. He was very much in favor of people doing what they want and having freedom and equal rights and stuff. So.
Yeah. And, he didn't even live in the United States. He lived in Canada.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
He lived in Canada, and where they have all sorts of civil rights and things like that. I got a kick out of his Iron Sheik gimmick because, I mean, he would have those Persian clubs.
Oh, yeah. That was fun. That
weighed
shit's hard.
Yeah. I think they weighed like 70 pounds each or something like that. And if you don't know what these clubs look like, look them up. Persian clubs. And he would take them. They were like 60 or 70 pounds a piece. I don't know how much they weighed. They were heavy, though. And he would take them and swing them behind his head like this. Yeah. And he would just continuously do it. And I was watching a shoot video with him, and he would talk about how he would bring the Persian clubs, backstage to everything. And he would have the guys in the back try it, and they can't do it. I mean, guys that were bigger and stronger than him, they couldn't do it. But this guy could do it. He did it for a long time. He did it well into his 60s. I mean, the guy was strong. He didn't look it. I mean, he really didn't have that much muscle on him. Optically, when you look at him, he looks big.
He wasn't.
He looks strong.
He wasn't cut. Like, he didn't like slim down, but he was super muscular.
Right.
Yeah.
He was strung like bull, and he would just use these clubs, and everybody would just go, wow, because these things were heavy. And, of course, he won the belt from Bob Backlund in 1983, I think it was. And then he lost it a few weeks later to Hulk Hogan, and that's when Hulkamania started.
Yeah, it's, he definitely a cultural impact, and had a lot of, sort of pop culture appeal. So, his big thing, I'll fuck you ass, make you humble.
Yeah. And fuck the Hulk Hogan and fuck the B. Brian Blair.
B. Brian Blair. Oh,
He hated
I
B.
know.
Brian Blair because he B. Brian Blair called him out for being a pedophile, and that he saw Sheiky Baby have a room and shit like that, and in the showers, and none of that happened according to Sheiky Baby. And I mean, if that really did happen, I think more than just B. Brian Blair would be saying something.
Oh yeah, I think so.
And if it happened that often, yes, fuck the B. Brian Blair. Yeah, fuck him.
Two come to mind, Sheiky stories. Both I heard on the Click This podcast. Kevin Nash.
Kevin Nash. He likes to snack.
Yeah, he does.
He snacks all the time. Noshes on things.
Num. But one was years ago. They're going through customs in Canada, oddly enough, and a different world back then. But before they got there, there was a arrest of a bunch of drug traffickers. There was a bunch of cocaine piled up. The Mounties are doing their thing, and the wrestlers are coming through. But I guess Sheiky Baby goes up to one of the Mounties, like, "Oh, Mr. Mountie, perhaps a little sample for the Sheik." Excuse me, Mr. Mountie, perhaps for Sheiky Baby, you get a little sample.
Sheiky Baby.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
The other one was, Sensation was going off, cutting a promo on, I think, Sensational Sherry. I was like, Sherry, she comes to my hotel room. She drink the Sheik beer. She smoke the Sheik pot, but she won't put the Sheik over. Yeah.
Jesus.
That fucking bitch. Yo, motherfucker. And especially when he starts going off, I mean, it's like a tidal wave of just obscenities and just vulgarities and screaming and fuck your motherfucker. I got the 10-inch cocker. I'm gonna fuck your asshole. I'm gonna make you humble. I got a 10-inch cocker. You motherfucker. And that's when he's in a good mood.
Yeah, that was Thanksgiving.
Yeah, right. But he had a rough life too. I mean, it wasn't all 10-inch cocks and cheeky beer. I mean, I think if I remember correctly, I think his daughters committed suicide, and his suicide, I believe, and he was getting all hopped up on cocaine and crack, and I mean, it was just not a good time for Sheiky Baby. Although I'll tell you, I can't remember, it was 2010. I want to say 2000. I was working Chiller Convention, and I went to go take a breather, walk around, see how things are, and I walk around, and there I see Sheiky Baby with Nikolai Volkov, okay, and they're sitting in between E.G. Daly from Powerpuff Girls and Richard Klein from Three's Company. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, right. And I'm just watching things, and there was a guy that was getting an autograph from Sheiky, and after he signed, "Here you go, sir, thank you," and he goes, hey, can I get a picture with you? And without not even caring who is in front of him, behind him, surrounding him, it could be men, women, little children, he slams his fist on the table like this, and he goes, "Okay, let's fucking do this." And I'm like, holy shit. I mean, I heard the stories, but at that point, I didn't know if they were true or not. I just heard the stories, and I backed up, and I'm like, "Holy shit! Can you believe this?"
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Because he wanted to. Yeah, the guy wanted to put him in the Cobra clutch. That's what it was. Wanted to, or the camel.
I was going to say, yeah.
Clutch. And he goes, "Okay, let's fucking do this," and he screams it out loud so everybody hears him. I'm just sitting back and I'm like, Jesus Christ, that is so funny. And I mean, he's the real deal too. What you saw on the internet and what you saw in his shoot interviews is the real deal. He's the genuine article.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, funny as hell. Lots of stories, man. I mean, him and Hacksaw Jim Duggan almost took out the wrestling industry by themselves. I mean, just almost took it completely out. Because
How so? I don't. Maybe I'd remember when you say, but I can't think of anything.
1987 or 6, somewhere around there. They were both working for the World Wrestling Federation, and Shiki was a heel. Hacksaw Jim Duggan was a face. And they were traveling to the next destination together, which was a big no-no.
Right,
you couldn't do that.
Yeah, not in the back in the day.
You couldn't have heels, chatting it up with faces like it's nothing. Well, they got pulled over by a cop for cocaine possession, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, Jesus.
And Vince McMahon was more worried about the secret let out about the kayfabe rather than the cocaine. And rightly so, to be honest with you. I mean, but at that point, the news didn't really get out, and by the time it did, nobody really cared anymore. But still, just to think that those two could have single-handedly, double-handedly bring down the whole wrestling game,
Kayfabe. They almost took kayfabe down completely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's by the way, we lost Raven Shadow. I tried to reconnect to his computer, but it says he's offline, so I think he lost internet. So that sucks. I don't know what's going on. So but MZ and I will continue on, and hopefully we'll get Raven Shadow back in just a bit. I was going to go off on a bit of a tangent on what you're saying. So I watched the 3 most recent episodes of Dark Side of the Ring from this current season. Have you seen any from the season yet, MZ? It started just like 3 weeks ago.
No, I haven't.
All right, so it starts off with Chris Candido and Sonny.
That must have been interesting.
Yeah, it was.
I can only imagine.
Very illuminating, I guess I'd say, about their lives. And then it was Magnum TA, and the most recent one was the Graham family. So Eddie Graham, Mike Graham.
Eddie.
And I'm trying to think which one. Oh, it was so Magnum TA. You were talking about kayfabe. And so I'm not going to tell the whole thing. If you guys want to check it out, you can check out Dark Side of the Ring. It's episode 2 of season 4. But Magnum TA, he got in a horrible accident, like paraplegic, was told he'd never walk again, that whole thing. And just prior to that, they had just decided that he was going to be the one to beat Ric Flair. He was going to end Ric Flair's reign as NWA champion. A big deal, huge deal. And so they had this plan, they were working towards it, and then this accident happened, so they weren't able to do it. But apparently when he was in the hospital, Flair was really concerned about him, so, but you couldn't go visit someone in the hospital back then, especially if you were a heel, you couldn't go visit a face, just didn't happen. So I guess they snuck Flair in with he was all had a cloak or a hood on or something like that, and they snuck him in in the middle of the night just so he could go and see Magnum. And I guess he took the heavyweight belt and put it on him, and and stuff like that. It's, if you're curious, you guys can check out that episode. But that's how much they protected kayfabe back in the day. You could not be seen with, if you were a face, you couldn't be seen with a heel, and vice versa. So it's just crazy how it was. Nowadays it's whatever, like it's scripted and a lot of the guys are friends and stuff like that. Not all of them, but like legit, you remember MZ, Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels, like legit heat between those
Yeah.
two. But
Oh yeah.
but they did big business, they worked together, and and now we're actually coming up on potentially seeing something like the modern day version of that. CM Punk's coming back this Saturday in AEW, and there are rumors that he may eventually feud with the Elite, which is the ones that he got in a real fight with backstage that caused this whole fucking crazy thing to happen. So,
Kenny Omega and
Brawl, yeah. Oh, Brawl
the,
Out.
the
Ace,
Young Bucks.
Young Bucks and Ace Steel bit Kenny Omega apparently, and yeah, it was a whole fucking fiasco. It was ridiculous, but yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's interesting to go back to that time because they made money off of like people believing that these people legitimately hated each other and were like wanted to kill each other. That was what made the fans so rabid. And you can see the fans would they would vehemently boo the heels. They would throw stuff at them and threaten to fight them if they it was crazy back then.
Oh yeah.
So
The good old days.
yeah.
Good old days.
So oh boy, Raven Shadow says something got unplugged. I think I put it back.
God damn it. Hey, you know what?
What?
Why don't we take care of what we were going to take care of? Well, since we got Raven Shadow on the shelf for right now.
What were we going to take care of? I don't remember. I don't know.
Oh.
Oh, that. Yeah. I don't have mine.
Okay.
Yeah. Just because maybe I'll see if I'll see if T-Dog can bring it to me.
All right.
Okay, Raven Shadow's computer is back on. I think he unplugged the computer.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
All
Jesus.
Oh, God damn it. It's not one thing, it's another with this guy.
Only him, man.
How does he manage to live this long?
Oh, while we wait, Evil Corny said while talking about the what was it? That I can't remember the name of the song now. The Bed Intruder song. Corny said that happened. Yeah, Corny says that happened here in Huntsville, Alabama. Antoine Dodson was the name of the guy. Yeah. So yeah, I forgot it was in Alabama. I wonder if Corny knew that guy. And then Corny says, I miss Raven Shadow wearing suits on the live pod. I think we're a couple episodes away from him wearing PJs. Yeah, I think he's right.
Yeah.
Fuck the B. Brian Blair. Oh, what made me think of B. Brian Blair was he was in one of those Dark Side episodes. I think he was in the Graham family one.
Oh yeah, really?
Yeah. Oh, maybe
there's
the
a video
TA.
of him.
I can't remember. One of those two.
There's a video of Iron Sheik slapping B. Brian Blair across the face.
Really?
At I think it's at the Cauliflower Club. Where they were having an award ceremony or something, and Sheiky Baby went up while B. Brian Blair, I think, was talking at a podium, and it just came up and just fucking waffled him dead in the face.
Jesus Christ.
He didn't give a shit. That's what everybody loved about Sheiky Baby. He didn't give a fuck. He didn't care.
Oh man.
He just didn't care. Man. All right. Well, let's not prolong this any longer.
Yeah. There's a couple other coffin corner I want to mention when Raven Shadow's back, but I want to wait for him. So, how about this? How about would you be okay? I'll go get mine. I'll go get my package.
Yeah,
if you carry things, okay.
Yeah.
So
I'll do it.
Just go ahead and do your thing, and I'll be back in just like 2 minutes.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, All right. Well, while Wolfie's gone and mysteriously vanishes into his background, and we're still waiting for Raven Shadow to bring his do-raggedy ass back online, you're gonna have to deal with me solo by myself, and I hope you can deal. I hope I can deal. So anyway, yeah, the Deadstream, the Blu-ray, I should say, that's going to be coming out next month. It's going to be exciting. I can't wait for it. I watched on Shudder maybe about a year ago, and I dug it. I dug it, and it was good, and everyone else seems to dig it. So just swallow your pride, and maybe some, maybe some kaopectate, and just walk into Walmart and grab that steelbook. Another thing. Yes, well, this is going to be conjoined with what Wolfie and I are going to be doing, but it was our birthday. Yesterday it was my birthday. Today is Wolfie's birthday. I'm a ripe old age of 52 right now, and Wolfie is 5 years and 1 day younger than I am. So I'll let you take care of the mathematics on that yourself. But we're going to be taking care of something, a little business in regards to our birthday when he comes back. Let's see. So Renfield is good. I got nothing. I'm doing my best. Let's see. Well, actually, why don't we take a look over here at my collection of stuff. Look at that.
Oh, look at that. I'm back.
That neat? Yeah. Oh, Wolfie's back. Never mind what you just saw.
Did you open your package?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
No, I'm waiting on you, dude.
All right, I got mine.
Like I always do. All right. Well, anyway, because it is Wolfie's birthday today, I mentioned to the fine folks at home that it's Wolfie's birthday, and I also mentioned that it was my birthday yesterday. So anyway, we both received a package today from Evil Corny. Awfully nice of him. Thank you, Corny. You didn't have to do it, but
it says fragile. Should I shake it? Oh no.
So anyway,
well, your birthday was yesterday. You do yours first.
Right. Okay. All right.
Oh, look at that. I got one too.
Yeah, it's fragile. Fragile.
Fragile. Must be French.
Oh, you almost got it. All right. I have no idea what's in here. It's a live unboxing. So, all right. We haven't had a live unboxing in a long time, huh?
Probably since last year at this time.
It says happy birthday, MZ from Evil Corny.
Look at that.
And what is this? It's Cthulhu. It's a Cthulhu. It's a Cthulhu mug. I think I've received more mugs from Evil Corny than anything else from anybody else ever.
You can open up your own coffee shop now.
Yeah, really. But at least I'd have awesome mugs, right? Oh, look at that. Oh, look at this thing. Wait. Oh, shit. Okay. Okay, yeah. Check it out.
Oh, wow. That's pretty badass.
That is badass.
Does it have Cthulhu eggs in it or something?
It does
hatch
not.
your own Cthulhu?
I wish I could, but I can't say that I can. No. But here he is, all wrapped around the mug.
That's pretty amazing. That's really cool.
Yeah. Oh wow, look at that. Look at that. You can I don't know if you can see it, right?
Oh
right.
Yeah, it's like a tentacle.
Here.
The handle's like a tentacle.
Yes, like suction cup, tentacles, something or other. Yeah. That's neat. I dig it. I love it. Thank you, Corny. And by the way, just to let you know, I still have this one too.
Nice.
But yeah, this looks awesome. This is great.
It's real cool.
I dig it. Yeah. Thank you, Corny. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
All right. Finally getting Raven Shadow back here, I think. Let's see if he pops back in. There he is. Look at that.
Hey,
What the fuck
right.
did you do, Raven Shadow? What the fuck did you do? Did you kick something out, didn't you?
That was fucking B. Brian Blair, that fuck. I make him humble.
Yeah.
Fucking jabroni.
Jabroni. Fuck.
Fuck yeah, fuck you. Beer bottle.
Well, what about this? Oh, never mind. I'll include it. I'll include this sound clip in the break. I queued it up and I thought it was going to play, but it loaded it up into the break, so I'll just let it play there. All right, so we got Raven Shadow back. Raven Shadow, please don't kick anything out, okay?
I don't think I kicked anything. It was way over there. I was.
You probably kicked it earlier when you were moving shit around.
No.
Yeah.
I can't speak to what Ollie's doing now.
You're the king of kicking out chords.
I'm the king of kick out, baby.
You're like, this guy got a new nickname. The king of kicking out.
Yep.
When life gets you down, Raven Shadow, right? It's got to kick out.
Got to kick out, baby.
Kick out in 2 9/10 every single time, right?
That's my new. I'm working on some self-help things going. It's wow. Someone got a birthday gift.
Yeah. So we while we were waiting, we figured we'd do our live openings.
Ooh.
All right. So I guess I'll open mine. So Corny is one of our longtime friends, supporters, listeners. Great dude. We've gotten to hang out with him on I was going to say several occasions, but it was over the course of 3 or 4 days or something. But we hung out with him for the whole long weekend. It was awesome. And Corny's a great dude. And so he always goes above and beyond and sends us birthday presents. So MZ just opened up his. It was a Cthulhu mug. And so now I'm going to open mine. It says, "Happy birthday, Wolfie. Sorry, I couldn't find anything Star Trek based. Evil Corny." Well, I'm not upset about that. So let's see here. All right. It's he got me some paper.
Ooh.
That's some good paper there. Thanks, Corny.
Papyrus. Yeah.
There's something else in here. Okay. All right. Well, not to be outdone, MZ got a mug. You guys want to guess what I got?
A bowl.
No.
Raven Shadow wishes he got the bowl.
Yeah. or Rocky. Maybe he'll get Rocky a bowl. I do. Okay, so I do have a mug. And what character or property do you guys think it is?
Don't tell me.
I'm not. I'm going to have you guess.
Is it from a galaxy far, far away?
It could be. It could very well be.
Shit.
Mandalorian mug.
Oh, you're close. He is a Mandalorian.
Boba Fett.
Boba Fett.
Boba Fett.
Look at that
Where?
thing, huh?
Look at that.
Well, look at a little.
Nice.
The ring light's
That's
a little bright. Yeah, it's nice. Look at the
That's fucking
nice mug.
Blue on the side,
Yeah.
black on the. Look at that.
That thing's nice. I might start drinking coffee now.
See? You
That's-
have some hot cocoa.
No, this thing's awesome. And actually, right, speaking of MZ was just showing off his mug. I have another Boba Fett mug right in front of me here from Corny.
Nice.
I'm going to
Nice,
collect them all the Boba Fett mugs
Look at that.
in the world.
Trade with your friends.
Yeah. But yeah,
Right.
there you go, Boba Fett.
Nice.
This is awesome, Corny. Thanks so much, buddy.
Hey, you can drink your vegan water out of there.
Vegan water. Yeah, man. Drink your meat water out of yours. Jesus, what is
Fucking hot dog flavored water.
hot dog flavor? Yeah,
You wouldn't want my
Ta-
meat water.
tampon hot dog flavored.
Yeah. Oh, boys.
All right. Well, there you go. Corny, thanks so much, buddy. This is awesome. I wouldn't be surprised if T-Dog borrowed this for her coffee. It's big enough for her large mugs of coffee in the morning. So this might get use from both of us.
Put some ice cream in there. Curl up.
Ice cream?
Don't
You
they
put
have-
ice cream in a mug?
Yeah, that's fun. You kind of hold on to it, get a little blanket. You know what I mean? Your robe.
Hold
Yeah,
on to it? Like, what do you do? Like this?
Put on
Like-
your do-rag.
Yeah, put your do-rag on, your bathrobe, have a little cup of ice cream with a handle, and just, just really relax. Put the new Guns N' Roses record on, see what happens.
See what happens? What the fuck? You gonna like
So I'm
fuck
into-
your ice cream?
Yeah, make it humble. I make my I'm
Ice
gonna
cream.
fucking-
I fuck you. I fuck you and make you humble.
Oh, Rocky Road, I make you humble.
Well, Corny was just commenting in the chat, and he says, "Thanks to the podcast, guys. Hanging with y'all is always the highlight of my week." Oh, pshaw, Corny, come on. He says, "Glad that Prime Mug didn't put an eye out, MZ. Not yet, anyways.
Well, no, there was
Almost a mishap.
when I got the mug, when I got this mug,
Oh, yeah, it's awesome.
when I got this mug, what I did is that I sent a series of pictures where I was acting like I was drinking out of it. I really never drank out of this thing, but I acted like I was drinking, and I took a picture of myself. And as I was drinking it, or pretending to drink it rather, one of his spikes caught me in the eye, and then I took a series of pictures where I'm like screaming like this. I'm covering my eye, and then the last shot, I'm like this. I'm like, ah,
Oh, I think I remember that. Yeah. Okay.
because I'm funny that way.
Yes, of course. You are funny that way. Funny looking.
Grr.
Courtney always takes care of the boys, for their birthdays and
Boys in the
Yeah.
back.
Courtney is at the back. And Courtney has a birthday coming up too, June 23rd. Represent.
That's right.
Sure does. So, all right. Well, so let's get back to the coffin corner because there's a couple I wanted to wait for Raven Shadow to get back, and then I want to wrap this up so we can start talking about the movie. And so Raven Shadow, I didn't mention, but I know you had a certain affinity for, we here on Trick or Treat Radio. You had an affinity for a certain treat that wasn't a candy bar, but an actor. So why don't you go ahead and talk about Treat Williams?
Oh, my Lord.
That was a
Thank you.
stretch. It was a
I
stretch,
know,
but
like-
hey,
I was I'm like,
we do what we
where
can.
Where the fuck's Wolfie going? I'm like, all right, I'll bite. But no, the great Treat Williams, been in tons of pictures, but for my money, and I think some of our fellow podcasters and friends and probably audience members, I mean, for me, the best picture for him, he'll always be fucking Dead Heat for me.
Yeah.
It's Officer Roger Mortis, and the unsung buddy cop duo of Treat Williams and Super Jack Joe Piscopo.
Joe Piscopo, yeah.
Oh man, fighting corrupt rich white people with schemes to bring the dead back to life and commit crimes. Zombie fucking bad guys. Cops who become zombie cops. So fucking good. You guys have all seen Dead Heat, right?
Yeah, it's been a...
Yeah, we reviewed it.
I don't think we did.
I don't think we did. Hold on. Was it the early days?
Didn't we?
Let me see. I can look real quick.
I could have sworn we did.
Nope, never did it. Might have talked about it.
No,
Never officially.
I could have sworn we would.
No. But you know what?
And another-
You know what I think? Sorry, just to pop in real quick. I think what we need is we need to like do a mashup, like a movie mashup, and we need to do Red Dead Heat. What do you think? Treat, right?
Treat, yeah.
Let's get Arnold Schwarzenegger. We'll get Jim Belushi. Oh, sorry, I was thinking of John Belushi.
No, well, unfortunately, Jim's still alive.
Yeah,
John.
Jesus Christ. Oh, you know what's funny though? I just clicked on Jim Belushi's page. He and I share a birthday. His birthday's today.
Is it really?
Yeah. He's got a few years on me, but oh yeah, and I forgot Larry Fishburne and Gina Gershon were in that.
Oh yeah,
Brian
yeah,
James,
yeah.
the great Brian James.
Yes.
I fucking love Brian James.
What, he shares a birthday with you too?
No. He was in Red Heat.
Red Heat. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
so I want to see Red Dead Heat.
Oh,
Let's mash up Red Heat, and make a movie. Have there ever been movie mashups?
All I know is if I get my bedroom back together by fucking I'm off Monday, that's what my day is doing. I'm fucking watching Dead Heat and fucking Red
Dead Heat.
Dead Heat. I'm not sure. Shit, yeah, Russian. Yeah, so it writes itself.
It does. Yeah. All right, so I just wanted to wanted to mention that. Angry Townsman just popped in and says, "Happy birthday, MZ and Wolfie." Well, thank you very much, Angry Townsman. Appreciate it, bud.
Thank you.
All right, what else do you want to talk about with Treat Williams, right?
And lastly, I mean, it's been a lot. I mean, a lot of stuff. But I mean, for me, my second for him is the Phantom. I love Billy Zane. I love.
Oh shit!
Treat
I
Williams.
forgot he was in that.
Yeah, was he Trask? Oh, and the great, not Lamar, James Remar.
Did James Remar play Lamar in Revenge of the Nerds?
James Remar got the part first, but ended up getting picked
Yeah.
with a bunch of drugs, and then they had to recast him with the other dude.
Oh yeah.
Kid.
Why is there? I heard my echo for a sec. What the fuck? That was weird. Yeah, Treat Williams. You're right. He played Xander Drax.
Drax.
James Remar played Quill. Holy shit! Was this fucking Guardians of the Galaxy? Drax and Quill.
Oh shit!
Is there any other? Is there a rocket in there or a Groot?
They shot rockets.
Let's see and Cary Tagawa was also in it. That guy's fucking awesome. And
he's great.
And Christy Swanson. I forgot. Holy shit, the fucking Phantom. I used to have those rings. You guys remember? I had like a whole fucking bag of those fucking Phantom rings because I worked at the video store and they sent us a huge bag of them for like promotional material.
The famous Slam Evil campaign.
Yes.
I do have the one you gave me. It's in one of my my special. Yeah.
I don't think I have any more any longer. I had a bunch of those though. And I don't know why I saved them, but speaking of, like, another sort of anniversary is that came out June 7th, 1996. So it was last week, and 27 years ago. Jesus Christ.
I saw the Phantom in the drive-in.
Did you? Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I remember seeing it in the drive-in.
Nice.
Yeah, Aries and I saw that at old Showcase downtown.
I don't remember. I've gone to the drive-in a bunch. I don't remember all the movies I saw, but I remember seeing Lawnmower Man for some reason. I remember seeing fucking Lawnmower Man at the drive-in.
I saw that in the theater.
Nice.
My parents took me to go see. It was Darkman and Ford Fairlane in the fucking drive-in.
Shit, that's a fucking double feature.
My dad's Camaro. It was bitching. My dad's bitching Camaro.
Is Ford Fairlane? Is that like? I'm trying to remember. It's been so
Andrew
long.
Dice Clay.
No, I know, but was it like?
Andrew Dice Clay,
was
Priscilla
it
Presley.
Was it appropriate for you to see at that age?
No, but you know my fucking parents don't give a fuck. I already seen Scarface in Revenge of the Nerds with my mother and grandmother and a buddy of mine slept over the house. So yeah, it was like closing the barn door after the horse left. You know what I mean?
So it was 1990. So you were 12-ish, probably.
No, 1990. So would have been. No,
I'm sorry. You would have been like 13, 14, right?
Early 4. No, I may have been. Because I'm December.
Yeah,
so you You would have been 14, and I think
You
I would have been.
13.
And then I turned 14 in. No, wait a minute. I'm bad with math.
It's okay. It's 13 or 14, depending on when it came out.
Yeah.
Probably 13 though, because your birthday's at the end of the year. But yeah, so I don't know if that's appropriate for a 13-year-old, but hey, that's cool. Your dad took you. Good old Rennie Harlan flick.
Yeah. It didn't like either one.
You didn't?
No, they didn't. My parents did.
Oh, you must have loved fucking both of them.
I love both. Yeah. That was the shit.
Darkman and fucking Adventures of Fort Fairlane, yeah.
Oh, man.
Holy shit. I forgot the tagline on the poster for Fort Fairlane. Kojak, Columbo, Dirty Harry, Wimps.
Here's to you sucking my dick. Oh.
Whoa. I don't know if Andrew Dice Clay works now, Raven Shadow.
Well, I'm saying.
So maybe you should, just keep those jokes to yourself.
I didn't write it.
Well, you don't have to write it. Hickory dickory dock.
I saw Dice perform.
Oh, did you?
At the Worcester Auditorium, 1990.
Oh wow, okay.
It was during his For Women Only tour.
Jesus.
What were you doing there then?
Checking out the show. And here's a bigger kick in the balls. Guess who opened up for him?
Hold on. Shit, I'm trying to remember this dude's name. Give me a sec.
Barry Sobel.
Yeah, that's what I was. How did you fucking know? I was totally thinking of Barry Sobel.
I wish it was Barry Sobel.
I think because I was thinking of Revenge of the Nerds. So.
Oh, Barry Sobel, where are you? Where are you?
Yeah,
Barry
we need
Sobel?
we should make a documentary. Where in the world is Barry Sobel?
Oh,
yeah, right.
Because he's like fucking missing, right? Or not missing, but he's like out of the public eye completely, right?
Yeah. He might be. I don't know. It seems that way. But no, I'll give you a hint. He was on a very popular TV show in 1990. Very popular TV show.
227, bro.
You are on the right track. You're on the right track.
Or a different world.
But the wrong genre of show.
You guys and your fucking sitcom knowledge is ridiculous.
I'm thinking either a different world or a
No. It's not
genre. Not
a sitcom. No. 1990. The show was really basically in its infancy, and it grew to
Tom Arnold.
Crazy popularity. No.
The Great Tom Arnold Show.
We could be here all night doing this.
John Goodman.
No.
I'm trying to think. I was thinking Roseanne, maybe. Barbara Walters, 60 Minutes.
No,
Yes.
no.
Shit.
Think of now.
Evil Corny has a guess. Steve Urkel.
What?
What was his name? Jaleel White.
He was only like Jaleel White. He was only like 11 at the time.
Dude, stand up.
Yeah, can you imagine an 11-year-old kid opening up for Andrew Dice Clay?
Oh wait, George Wendt.
No.
John Ratzenberger.
Shadow, wait, shut
damn
up.
It.
Raven Shadow was on the right track with the title of the show. Okay, think of what the title of the show. You said 227.
Yeah.
Think numerically.
Johnny, what does numeric mean? But
it has 21 Jump Street.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know. What were the fucking?
But you got the right idea.
Yeah.
So
idea. Think of a show that had numbers in it.
Okay. Thank you. I was trying to go. Okay.
Did you know what numerically meant?
I thought I said numerals. I thought I said 2, 2, and 7 on numerals.
Is he your favorite chef? Emerald Numerals?
Yeah, good.
You're trying too hard, Wolfie. Stop it. You're embarrassing yourself.
I was trying to embarrass you. I'm trying to distract so Raven Shadow can fucking guess the show. Come on, Raven Shadow.
Yeah.
Read the room. I don't know. 21, 20.
1990s, 1990 numbers in the title. It's probably so obvious you're missing it, which I don't blame.
2020.
There's a two.
To a different world. No. I think he was on. Didn't he have, with the great Kadeem Hardison we talked about last week. He was in that.
Just fucking, just tell us.
Yeah, there's so many other people to talk about.
Really.
Oh, wait. Angry Townsman has a guest. Just the 10 of us.
Yeah,
No.
boy.
No, okay.
No, it's not a sitcom. It's not a sitcom.
Oh.
2.5 Men. Fuck. That's not 1990. Two girls. No, it's not.
Two girls in one cup.
Two girls in one.
I'll give you another hint.
Okay. Last hint.
This isn't the person. But this is the show that this person was on.
Are we roboting Raven Shadow? I'm gonna fucking drop kick your computer.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Maybe that was just.
Okay, it's gone now. All right, keep going, MZ.
Official timekeeper at WrestleMania 10.
Oh shit. Fuck. Beverly Hills 90210.
Yep.
Ian Ziering.
You got it?
Ian Ziering, right?
Yes. Yes, you got it. You got it. Jesus H. Christ.
Holy shit. I forgot that he did that.
Ian Ziering.
He opened up?
He opened up for Andrew Dice Clay.
Fuck.
That was talk about bizarre.
Oh, you know what? I was thinking of a show that Barry Sobel was on after 227. I forget the premise. Why are we blacking out?
Is this the blackout tapes all of a sudden?
Okay.
Yeah.
We gotta find Barry. Gotta make it our life's mission to find Barry Sobel.
Where in the world is Barry Sobel?
Exactly.
So Ian fucking Ziering did stand up? How was he?
Yeah. I don't remember it.
I
don't remember it too much. All I remember is that he did it. And he was on 90210. I was 19 at the time. I didn't give a shit about 90210. That's for, other people, not for me.
Wow, that show went for 10 years, huh? I didn't realize it went that long. It went from 1990 to 2000.
Stop it. It went to 2000?
That's what this says.
But not with the original cast, right?
Well, I don't know. It's just 292 episodes.
Changed.
Yeah.
The cast changed over time, but the core people were pretty much still there.
Like the great Brian Austin Green, maybe? And,
yeah, Brian Austin Green, Gabrielle Carteras, Tiffany Amber Thiessen.
Oh, yeah, 'cause she came later.
Oh, yeah, Tori Spelling. Oh, fucking robot.
Fucking roboting.
I'm going to drop kick your fucking computer, Raven Channel. First, you kick out. I'm going to disconnect him right now.
It's not my fault.
Are you sure that we're the highlight of your week? You must have a pretty crappy life if we're the highlight of your week.
Oh, man. So, Angry, well, obviously we have the answer, but Angry Townsman guessed just the 10 of us, my two dads. But as we found out, it is Beverly Hills 90210. Evil Corny says, if MZ was the Riddler, we would be fucked up. But Evil Corny did guess. He actually guessed it. He guessed it before we did.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
And he said, well, he ain't doing stand-up now, Wolfie.
Nope. Yeah, he's so smart.
So smart. All right, we'll get Raven Shadow back in just a sec. But we do have
let's put the fork in this one and get moving.
All right. Well, the last thing I want to say about Coffin Corner is Pat Robertson fucking burn in hell, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
That's really all I gotta say.
I'd piss on his grave. I'd piss on his grave, but that's a waste of good piss.
I piss on your grave. I feel like that's something that Iron Sheik would say. All right. Let's see. I'm trying to get Raven Shadow back. Okay, so let's wrap this up. And let's see what else was. I thought there's something. Let me just see, because we're not going to get back to this coffin corner ever again. I think there was one other person. Raven Shadow has a story, but we're going to wait for that. He can tell at the end if there's time. Pat Cooper was the other one. He actually wanted to talk about Pat Cooper. But,
yeah.
But we just got to wrap it up. So,
yeah.
All right. So, if you guys want to help support the show, there are a few ways you can do so. And the best way is to head on over to Patreon and go to patreon.trickortreatradio.com, and you can help support the show for as little as $2 a month. And you get the Patreon exclusive episodes we drop every month, and we're going to record one this weekend. So you guys will be seeing that in a few days. And also you get access to our full Discord server. Anyone can join the Discord, but the access is a little limited. But if you are a Patreon supporter, you get access to the whole thing. What else? There's a bunch of other stuff on there. Give it a look. Patreon.trickortreatradio.com. Also, you can go to trickortreatradio.com, scroll down on the main page, and you're going to see the Amazon logo. Go ahead, click that, and it's going to bring you to Amazon. It's going to input our affiliate link, and everything you purchase in that session will get attributed to us. It doesn't cost them any extra, MZ.
But it is another way to help keep the lights on.
Thank you for standing in. And Raven Shadow's gonna be pissed when I tell him he couldn't do that.
He'll live.
Let's see. All right. Phew. I got worried. It said he had no camera detected for a second, but it was still loading, I think. All right. So, okay. I'm going to have him join the call. Hopefully the roboting is gone. And the other way you can help support the show is also on trickortreatradio.com. You can click on store, and we have some digital goods. There is the greatest hits of Trick or Treat Radio volumes 1 through 3, and you can get those for $3 a pop. And it's a nice little sampling of Trick or Treat Radio throughout the years, especially the early years. So you can give that a listen and check out the first 6 or 7 years of the show. Because we've been doing this actually almost 11 years. We got like 6 weeks until our fucking 11-year anniversary. What the fuck is wrong with us? Did you just do a Marty Feldman, MZ? I always enjoy your Marty Feldman impersonation. And so those are the ways you can help support the show. And Raven Shadow, MZ stood in for you. He did an admirable job. But now, Raven Shadow, I want to find out, what did you do? I knew you had the week off. You had all this time to prepare to watch the movie. You're fucking painting the house, up, down, paint the house, paint the roof, paint the fence, paint the town.
Yeah, paint the wall.
Oh, both you and Aries are doing that? You're painting the town.
Does Aries still
paint
like
each other?
Does Aries still
paint
like
the town
you?
up?
I don't think so.
No?
But Marion seems to like me, so she's been helping.
Yeah. You two could go and paint the town up. Paint each other up. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
He's going to paint your balls to get more fucking paint. Goddamn sure.
Jesus.
It's a big rollers.
All right, so Raven Shadow, what did you do to prepare for this week's show? For this week's movie, you're gonna check out Brooklyn 45 on Shudder. It's a Shudder exclusive from Ted Gagan, who we've checked out, I think, all of his films so far. What did you do to prepare?
Do I have time for my Boston story, or is that?
We're gonna wait till the end because
okay.
You kicking the fucking cord out, and you have roboting issues.
Yeah.
I don't think I kicked the cord.
Okay, well, you gonna blame it on Ollie then?
No, he's a good beat. It just sucks. Painting sucks. There's a lot of painting. Marion came back. She went to the Home Depot, got some more stuff. We're gonna paint tonight. But once I get my bed back in my room, you better believe I'm gonna strap on.
You did that awfully quick, and I wasn't ready. But you know what? I'm ready now. So, all right.
You said I couldn't tell the long story.
Right.
And,
Right.
and you're calling me a motherfucker for things I can't.
I didn't call you a motherfucker.
But you were thinking it.
No, it wasn't. All right.
I did.
Say it again. Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah. You know, I get excited. Ted Gagan, the man. Uncle Larry.
You painted the room and you strapped on.
Yeah, I painted the walls and I strapped
Go
on.
through
And I
your
got some...
week with the same old routine.
What you really want is some blood and thunder in your life.
Well, friend, you found it.
The Cromcast is an adventurous journey through the history of two-fisted pulp stories
With your hosts, John,
Josh,
and Luke.
we have action,
horror,
An adventure, all through the lens of pulp luminary Robert E. Howard.
Don't just stay in your ordinary life.
find your pulp life at thecromcast.blogspot.com.
The Cromcast,
The Cromcast.
The Cromcast!
a podcast for the barbarian at heart.
I'm Mike Allred. For the gitchiest listening experience, you gotta check out Trick or Treat Radio.
The following message is a paid advertisement for the Cult of Muscle podcast. The Cult of Muscle. You're either in it or you're dead.
It's the dawning of a new age. The halls of Valhalla have been shuttered. The heroes of yore have either retreated to the shadows or taken to capering for the amusement of the small folk. Their past glories a distant memory. The barbells have been torn from their once puma-strong grips. The beards shorn from their square jaws, only to be transplanted onto flannel-clad, puny weaklings with fingers barely powerful enough to strum a ukulele. The time has come, my brothers, to restore order from the chaos. No longer will our heroes be forgotten. No longer will their great deeds be viewed through a foggy lens of irony. Hear now our rallying cry as we scream it from the mountaintops, as we bellow it from iTunes and Libsyn and Facebook. It's time to join the cult, my brothers. So don your cloaks and enter the Cult of Muscle.
I could be standing outside a woman's prison in a fistful of 50s and a bouquet of dildos, and no woman would come near me. Do you
say a bouquet of dildos?
This is Chocolate Beast. You're listening to Trick or Treat Radio, but you should be eating nougat.
And we are back on Trick or Treat Radio. So it's funny, I actually got in a quick conversation with, it's funny, I just, all these years, like how long we've been doing the show, almost 11 years, I said, and I've mentioned T-Dog on the air many times as my partner. And I just asked her just now, I was like, you know what? I always call you T-Dog. It's just habit. I'm like, because I wanted to like make sure, like, I don't know, you just never know on the internet, like people might look people up or whatever. And so I just always just kind of kept doing that. And I was like, is it okay if I call you that? And she's like, you can use my real name. So if I say Tanya, it's Tanya.
Wow.
So so we're just talking about the movie real quick. That's why there was a little bit of dead air for the live listeners. I cut out the dead air for the podcast because I don't want people to think something is wrong with the podcast and whatever. So that's the only edits that I do. But so anyways, we just had a very quick conversation about the movie because we never ended up talking about it after we watched it together. And a lot of the reasons why I sound smarter when I talk about the movies is because of her, talking to her about it. So she is very much a partner in this. So so let's get into it. I'm excited to talk about Brooklyn 45, and this film it just got a release. I believe it was on the 9th. Was it the 9th? 8th or 9th of June. So it was last week. And so film's from 2023. It is 92 minutes. It is a drama, history, horror is what it's classified as, which I feel is accurate. And it's written and directed by Ted Gagan. And the film stars Anne Ramsey, not Anne Ramsey from Throw Mama from the Train. As we discussed last week, it's not this. Owen! Owen! Speaking of, every single time we do that, which is actually pretty frequently on the show, Tanya finds it very funny because she loves that movie. And she hears it coming from the other room. She's like, Owen! She's laughing. She's laughing right now. I can hear her. Owen!
And my mom took me to go see that in theaters. It was excellent too.
No, he's not. He's fat and he's stupid.
Owen loves his mouth.
Yeah, I haven't seen that movie in so fucking long. I gotta watch that sometime soon.
Yeah, it's been a couple years for me.
Oh yeah. So obviously I remember Billy Crystal and Danny DeVito and Anne Ramsey, of course. But who else was in that? Branford Marsalis was in it.
Yeah. He's the one who was in the bed with the woman. He was in bed with Miss Gladstone.
Oh.
Yeah, and now I'm in bed with Miss Gladstone.
That's funny.
And it also and it also has Annie Ross.
Yep.
She was in Basket Case 2 and 3.
Yeah. She's awesome too. She's awesome. Yeah.
It also has
Oprah Winfrey.
Oh, Oprah Winfrey. She also from Star Trek: The Next Generation, I think. Oh, what the hell's her name?
Is it Kate?
She played his ex-wife, Kate Mulgrew.
Kate Mulgrew, yeah.
Kate Mulgrew is in it.
Oh wow, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Wait, Annie Ross from Superman 3, motherfucker.
Yes.
And pump up the volume.
Yep.
Wait. Who? Pump for the Volume in 3 was in that? Who was she in those movies? Oh, the mom. She was the mom.
She was Vera in Superman 3.
Oh, Vera was Robert Vaughn's sister, right?
I believe so. It's been a while, but yes, I believe so. Yeah.
In Superman 3, Robert Vaughn and Annie Ross, they were brother and sister. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's the one who turned into that metallic monster.
Yeah.
So what's
Oh, go ahead.
Say what you want about Superman 3, and it's not good. But the fight between Clark and Superman in the junkyard, revealing that once again Clark's the real person, Superman's the act, and the that computer scene is fucking terrifying. When she gets the fucking, the computer, like the cables come in,
go
over into the thing.
Oh yeah, I saw Superman 3 in the theater.
Nice.
I remember I saw it in the theater. And two specific scenes I remember about that. One is when Annie Ross turns into the metallic metal woman, which freaked everybody out.
Mm-hmm.
Just not only the way it was done with the stop motion animation on her face and everything like that, but also her the full reveal of what she turned into, and also the acid when it was placed down and it started to coagulate and gel. I remember all the kids in there going, "Ew!" I remember that vividly. Owen.
When in doubt, instead of dead air, just say Owen.
Owen. Owen.
Oh shit! So yeah, all right. So we'll get on a little quick little tangent. Throw them all from the train. But Brooklyn 45. So Ann Ramsey, Ron E. Raines, Jeremy Holm, Larry Fessenden, Ezra Buzzington, Christina Klebe, and Lucy Karapetian as Susan Hochstetter, who we only see briefly, I guess you could say. Susie, the wife. And so the synopsis of this film: 5 military veterans, best friends since childhood, gather together to support their troubled host, and the metaphoric ghosts of their past become all too literal. And so this film is streaming on Shudder. If you guys have a subscription, it is definitely worth your time. And as we talked about with director Ted Gagan, director and writer, previously he has directed the films Mohawk, which we did back in 2017, and We Are Still Here he did in 2015. And I'm actually gonna, let me just get the episode number that we interviewed Ted on. And just in case folks want to go back, I remember really enjoying the conversation, and he was really great. Let's see here.
Is that the one they talked about the Romanian internet?
No.
Well, I guess I'm gonna go fuck
What
myself.
the fuck?
Then.
What are you talking about? That's a completely different movie, and those are 2 guys, not one.
I wanted that too, but you said We Are Still Here. That's the one where
No, that's They're Watching, you idiot.
Oh, that was good too.
They're watching you, idiot.
They're watching you, idiot.
They better not be watching. They're gonna get a sight for something. That ain't fucking.
Yeah, they're gonna watch you. They're gonna watch you fucking paint. They're Watching was directed by Jay Lender and Micah Wright. Those are the guys that sent us all the comic books and posters and stuff. Those guys are awesome too.
Those boys are good.
But no, Ted Gagan is one person, and he did not talk about Romanian internet.
Should have.
Why?
I hear it's really good.
All right, so let's see. We mentioned it's funny. We mentioned him a bunch on the show, so he's coming up in several notes here. It might be this one. Oh, we're still Wi-Fi. Is that it?
In fact, Jay Lender and I share a birthday, so there's that.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay. So on episode 154, we talked about We Are Still Here. So that was the episode in which we talked about it. I'll pull it up in a moment. I don't want to delay this any further than I've delayed it. So, okay, this might be it actually. Sorry, come on. It fucking makes me log into fucking Amazon just to see my own fucking episode. All right, I will look at that. I think it's 183, but I will check that out. So, okay, anyways, Ted Gagan, and he also, so he's done those films. He's written and was involved in several other shorts and oh shit, MZ, didn't you know someone in the Disco Exorcist, or was that our friend Alexander.
Do
you guys remember?
That could have been oh Jesus Christ.
Oh, you know what? Pantaphobe is in that. And and Alexander. Okay, so Alexander is in it as well. So he worked on that.
Oh, okay.
So
Pantaphobe. I remember Pantaphobe.
Yep, but Pantaphobe and Alexander. Anyways, it looks like Ted Gagan did revisions for that script, which I don't know if we actually knew that previously or not, if we discussed that. But this is his third feature film. He did We Are Still Here was his first feature, then Mohawk, and now Brooklyn 45. And it's been 6 years since his last feature, which I think is a shame because I've enjoyed all of his work. Especially We Are Still Here, and then we will get into this to see if this is a film that we recommend watching. But yeah, I've really enjoyed his take on cinema. So, all right. Well, let's jump in and start talking about the movie here. Also, we would be remiss if I didn't mention some of the cast. I talked about who's in it, but we see the great Larry Fessenden again, and Uncle Larry has been in quite a few films. I think he's been in the most films out of any actor that we've covered. Whether it's actually and as an actor and a director, because we've done a few of his films as well. But
this might be number 8, number 9. It's up there.
Yeah, I think you're right. And also Jeremy Holm and Raven Shadow. Do you want to convey just a brief little story about Jeremy Holm? Oh my God, the Ranger.
Oh yeah. Ranger.
We
saw that.
The guy. Fuck. All right, never mind.
I know. I thought.
Why do you throw him a
trying
bone?
to get you involved.
Why do you throw him a bone? God damn it!
No, because we saw that film at the Great Skip Shea Film Festival.
Yep.
And then we later at the amazing Scaricon in another town.
Framingham, right? I think. Natick,
the great
whatever
town.
it is. Yeah.
He came by a table and was hanging out talking to us. We're like, oh, we know you. Yeah. And we talked and we chatted. It was nice. Like growing.
Yeah. So, Jeremy Holm, we got to meet him very briefly at Scaricon a few years ago. Awesome guy. Like he was great in The Ranger. He was fucking awesome.
So,
yeah. He was a lot of fun in that.
Shit.
And he plays one of the characters in this as well. We have a very small cast, which I think, let me say off the bat, this film definitely lived and died by the performances of the cast.
Yes,
because it was mostly a one location shoot. Raven Shadow, this is your shit, right? You love this.
Oh, I popped.
It could be a stage play.
Totally be a stage play, bro.
You love that shit.
I love it. I don't know why. It gets me happy. It makes me happy.
So yeah, this mostly takes place in sort of in 1945, hence the name Brooklyn 45. Takes place in Brooklyn, and it's a bunch of war veterans who the war had just ended. I don't remember if they said how long, but it was like months or maybe a year, right? So it was in 1942. I don't know when the war was officially over, but it wasn't too long since the war was, like, finger quotes, over. And so these veterans are getting together. Unfortunately, one of them, played by Larry Fessenden, Clive, or as they called him, Hawk, for Clive Hochstadter, his wife had recently passed just a few months prior, and he was having trouble, getting over... It was only weeks, actually, right? Because it was around Thanksgiving, and this takes place on December 27th, I think it was, or something.
Oh, shit. It happened on Thanksgiving, and now we're in December. So, yeah, so it would have been, when's Thanksgiving? The 24th? 25th?
Well, somewhere around there. I mean, it's the last Thursday, so we don't know in that year what it was. But, yeah, so it was 5 or 6 weeks. So he's still grieving. It's still sort of a sore thing for him, and as someone who probably also deals with PTSD and just coming out of a war, I imagine this is a tough time. So he invites his friends over, and he has sort of, I guess you could say, ulterior motives that we'll find out about. But that's the premise, is just inviting these friends over for a night of just remembering Susie, his wife, and and then stuff happens. But yeah, so this film very much is solely dependent upon the acting, and we've seen I think we've seen all of these actors. The only one I don't recognize was Ron E. Raines, who played Bob, who is Marla's husband. So he was the only one I don't believe I've seen in anything previously. I'm just looking through his. Yeah, he was on Chicago Med, the TV series, and he's been on some shows, but I don't believe he's been in anything that we would have seen on the show, anyways. So he's a bit of a newcomer to us, and Ezra Buzzington we've seen in a bunch of stuff. And Christina Klebe we just watched in Two Witches recently, and we've seen other movies with her as well. And Anne Ramsey, I do recognize her, but I couldn't tell you what I've seen her in.
Yeah, Anne Ramsey. Yeah, she's in A League of Their Own.
Oh, right, okay.
The Taking of Deborah Logan. She's in one of the Apes films.
Okay. There you go.
She's been around. And I recognized her immediately when I saw her.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So all of these performers, I think, had established an established track record aside from Ronnie Raines for us, and so I was really excited to see them all sort of play together. Love Jeremy Holm in The Ranger. Always love Uncle Larry, Larry Fessenden, and Ezra Buzzington. His performance in this was pretty outstanding. I'll say that. And he's been in some other really good stuff as well. So, I'm trying to think of where to start with this one, because it's a movie that I want to tiptoe around. I don't want to spoil too much because it's a new film. And I really feel like this is one that is good if you go in without knowing a whole lot. At least for me, I'm glad I didn't know much about it. Like you can sort of glean enough looking at the poster, or on the poster says, "The ghosts of your past would like to have a word with you," which I think is a great fucking tagline for this.
That's really good. And just to throw it out there, if to your point, Wolfie, if you said this movie lives or dies by its cast, well, then I got to say, right from the jump, as we meet the team, as they all come to the house, for a party, and how they interact with each other, I was really locked in. I was. I like that. Plus an older, cast. They're not kids. They're people at least probably in their, it's fair to say, at least in their 50s plus, I would think.
Oh yeah, I would say, yeah.
But I just liked how it almost reminded me, and this is not the same, it's not completely analogous, but a little bit of Clue, a little bit there, just, I don't know, a little bit when you meet, maybe it's just me, a lot of paint fumes. But I just liked, I liked them meeting, and obviously there's a connection. And I liked how everyone in the party is very tight, except for Bob. Bob is the husband of Marla.
Right. Yeah.
That doesn't have a military a field service.
He works for the Pentagon. He's a pencil pusher, as they say.
Right.
Yeah.
Not in the military, and not, so he's obviously looked down upon by the other vets. And this is 1945, gang. There's no, this is when you get home and you put your bootstraps on and you go to work, and that's what you do. There's no.
There's no leave. You can't call in sick for PTSD or whatever, probably. So, so Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I gotta respectfully disagree with my colleague Raven Shadow here. I'm not gonna buy into the connection with Clue. I know where you're going with this, but I don't agree with it. Another movie that I've heard being talked about that has similar connotations to this film would be The Hateful Eight. And I think that bears a little bit more of a closer connection to this film than Clue does, because once we start learning, as the film progresses, as we start learning who these people are and what this story is, you could see that there's more of a Hateful Eight vibe going on. At least I felt it. These people are not strangers to each other.
They're no strangers to love.
But I guess as the film progresses, they do realize how unfamiliar they are with each other. Does trust play a part in this film? Sure. But so does honor, so does friendship. And it starts weaving a coil of just pure chaos.
Yeah.
And I like the way that this has been played out to a certain degree.
It's funny that you mentioned Clue, because I'm kind of with MZ. Like, this movie didn't remind me of Clue in the way that it was structured or set up, but in the way in the start of it, where they all are introduced to one another, and sure, they know, they all for the most part know each other except for Bob, like you said, but it and plus it was in like a Victorian style house, which is once again something that Tanya pointed out to me, and you can tell. So if this took place in 1945, that house probably hadn't been updated in a while, maybe since Hawk was born. Like, I feel like that's the house he might have grown up in or something like that. It felt like very Victorian, and that to me really played up the vibe of there's a seance. I mean, that's not a, I mean, we have to talk about that. That happens early on, the first 20 minutes, I think. So it very much is, when you look up, like, if you were to look up seance, like do like a Google search or something like that, I can guarantee you, I'm actually going to do it right now, several of the pictures you would see would be from Victorian era. Because that's when that was sort of a thing. So I'm actually looking up. I just want to see here. Yeah, like immediately the first picture is a bunch of people all dressed up in, gowns and suits with black bow ties around a round table. It's a classic image that you guys have probably seen a lot of. But yeah, that is something that's very indicative of that time when you think about seances. So that, I feel like they got that right. I mean, doing it in the Victorian setting was very appropriate, even though the time was 1945.
And Jim, once again, it wasn't just kind of the intro of them coming to the place for an event.
That's exactly, yeah. That's where I agree with you totally. And then when Hawk locks the door, that was, to me, was like, okay, yeah, like I'm getting a little bit of a Clue vibe, because I had actually brought that up to T-Dog and or Tanya and said, I can't remember, have you seen Clue? And we actually had to go through. We forgot if she had, and then I played the trailer for her, and she's like, oh yeah, we watched this. I was like probably one of the first movies I like watched with her when we met. So yeah, it had a similar vibe. It was nothing like it, but it had a similar vibe in terms of the opening, I think. So so everyone gathers around. We kind of get a really good sense of who everybody is. And it's funny because nobody seems to like Bob. And I think it's because they all, to some degree, had a thing for Marla.
Yeah.
And she ended up with this pencil pusher who wasn't in the military. So they clearly held some resentment towards him because of that, you know.
Oh, and I love that running gag too. Like, hey, Bobby.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, the one line like,
Bobo,
you know,
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know, I don't know, fucking what tits all you fucking do for a living. I don't fucking know. He's like, no one knows what this guy does. Like,
good old Bob. Bob.
So
yeah, so we get in there and we find out that one of the characters who's played by Ezra Buzzington, DeFranco, that he's been there since like 2 p.m. or something like that. He got there early. And so they're all having drinks and kind of like, you know, shooting shit and busting on each other and all that. And we find out that at some point, I don't remember if it was before. I think it was before the seance. I actually watched this earlier in the week. So some of the details might be a little hazy, but Jeremy Holm plays Archibald Stanton. And as we find out, Archie was gay. And back then, I imagine it's not something you really talked about a lot in the military.
Well, that's the thing too, and I had a little bit of a question about the role of Marla at that time. I don't know, and just could she have achieved that role in the service?
Oh yeah,
back
yeah.
Could they have? Okay, I didn't know if
it was. I mean, that's probably why they all like, you know, thought so highly of her, because she probably would have had to really stand out, you know.
And to be fair, I'm sure some of the stories they told were like, "Oh shit, she's like the Wolverine of the team." You know, she went in on a couple of things, but yeah, true. That was like, and these are guys who probably would not dig that kind of you know, lifestyle back then. I'm saying that, you know, air quotes. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like just for that.
Yeah.
For that.
I mean, they were totally busting on him too, like for it. You know, like it. You know, I think it was one of those things where back then you kind of took it because it wasn't really accepted, but the fact that they were still friends with him was probably enough for him. You know, he knew he'd be busted on, and they talk shit about it, but I think ultimately they were still friends with him, you know? So I imagine that was kind of a sticky situation with that, but
I think it showed that their true friendship. I mean, like that. It wasn't. Was it Major? He was the Major, right?
Which Ezra Buzzington's character, Major Paul DeFranco. He was the one that got there early. Yeah.
Like he's the fucking you know, yes sir, tent hut kind of guy, and to be friends with, you know, I like that it showed they were obviously a crew. Where Bob was surprised, and they're like, because it kind of got tense for a minute when Archie was like, "Yo," and they're like, "Aha, you motherfucker," and they were just, you know, they had a drink, and they were obviously they were boys, and they bust chops.
Yeah,
you know,
and I think that the opening to this was a great, sort of just get to know all the characters. Like their interactions really told a lot about them. You didn't have to have like a bunch of exposition about who they were. And Archie, one thing we find about his character is he is being investigated for war crimes. I maybe I won't say what it is because you find out a little bit later in the film, and it's kind of like a big moment. Yeah, so I'll keep that vague, but he is being investigated for war crimes, and with that scene when he talks about it is pretty hardcore, pretty intense.
Yeah, it's pretty heavy stuff. He lets it all out.
Yeah.
Very well played out scene. It was the dialogue seemed to be pretty precise as to, you know, how you could possibly realistically react to spilling the beans on yourself. There was a lot of emotion going on with him. Just a very well done performance in that particular scene. Just really well done.
So one thing,
and let me just add, I just love how everybody looks in this film.
Yeah.
I just love how Buzzington looks. I love how Holm looks. I love how Ramsey looks. I just love how everybody looks in this film. They look like they're owning these characters.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah, but they're not very complex characters. They're pretty straightforward characters. I just think that the performances of these guys, and they're all excellent work. It just gets better and better and better as it goes along, because the more you learn about these people, the more emotion that each character has to put on the table, and the more of that, the more profound. Not profound, I shouldn't say that. The more interesting, and I don't want to use the word exciting, but I think that's the only word I can think of.
Intense.
Yeah. Okay. Intense. Yeah. Thank you. The more intense things get, they really put everything on the table. Everybody owned these characters. They did such a great job with it.
Yeah.
You felt their backstory. Like, I don't know, they were fully.
Yeah, there's gravity there, and that they portrayed that in their performances.
Mm.
You didn't need to see a prequel of them being in the war together. You just got that sense of that's who these characters are, and even characters who, like, the one cat that wears his fucking military garb to a fucking dinner or a party. You're like, this guy's gonna be a fuck stick, But even still, you're like, he wasn't completely wrong at times, or like, I mean, whatever the fuck. But like, I don't think there was anybody completely unlikable.
Not completely.
That's where the Hateful Eight vibe comes in. That, I mean, yeah, everybody knows each other for the most part. Everybody knows each other, but there's an underlying story with almost every character, if not every character. I guess you would have to dig really deep in order to find that, but almost every character, there's an underlying sense of betrayal, or an underlying sense of criminal activity, where each character doesn't know that until they spill the beans on themselves, or someone else spills the beans on them.
But I think, despite their charisma and the actors playing them, I think all the characters in Hateful Eight are really assholes.
Yeah.
Like, even I love Kurt Russell's my favorite actor of all time, but he was a dick. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I mean, I see what you're saying. I didn't think about Hateful Eight at the time, but I see what I see that, I can certainly see some similarities. There are a couple things I want to mention here. Is I actually was kind of just scrolling through Twitter earlier and looking up some, what people kind of thought about the movie. And somebody posted a picture of Jeremy Holmes' character next to a picture of Timothy Dalton from The Rocketeer.
Yes. Yeah, dude.
And they asked Ted Geoghegan if there was a connection, and he said absolutely. He said I totally based Jeremy Holmes' character on Timothy Dalton's look from that movie.
Oh man, I never caught that.
I didn't either. Yeah,
I did. Yeah.
I never caught that. That makes so much sense. And I just love how he looks. I think he's my favorite out of all of them. Just in terms of how he looks and how he approaches.
Well, also the range. I mean, like, from that war crime thing that we talked about to him sort of like having to be a good sport as he's getting busted on, to, like having some emotional moments. I think totally. I think he might have had the most range. I think Marla as well. Whereas I think DeFranco, played by Ezra Buzzington, he played that sort of major, not much emotion, kind of played it in a certain way, but he also was very good as well, like incredibly good. Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to lay down for Buzzington here. He was the one, and I don't want to give anything away here, but he was the one that was basically man, you want to hate this guy. You really, really, really want to fucking knock his block off, but at the same time, you can't.
Yeah.
You know, because of the backstory involved, you want to hate this guy, but you know you can't, and that puts the viewer in a really precarious situation, which I think is very interesting. I very few films do this, where they put the viewer in a very difficult and tough spot as to how they're supposed to feel about a certain character, and this is one of them. Because as I'm watching this, I'm like, the more I'm watching it, the more I'm like, you gotta hate this guy. You gotta hate this guy. You want to see him knock his block off. But then I caught myself saying, no, you can't have that. It's impossible. And the film fucks with you like that. And I don't know if I like that or not, but it certainly made things interesting for me. This film, I mean, it's too interesting to be boring.
Yeah.
It's one of those kind of films that's just too interesting to be boring, whether there's shit going on or not. Whether physical activity going on or just plain dialogue. It's just too interesting to be considered boring.
Yeah, and I will add that it certainly held my attention throughout, and it ramps up. Like right from the beginning, it's interesting because you get to meet these characters and you're wondering how they're going to play off each other and what their relationship are to each other, because there is a little bit of tension between some of them. And then from there, we go into a seance where, we have Larry Fessenden playing Hawk, and none of these people are into this, and he's like, well, since Susie died, I really liked his scene talking about when he was going to church, and and the way the was it the priest or something like that kind of like turned on, not really turned on him, but said like basically his wife committed suicide. I mean, that's once again not spoiler, it's pretty early on. And he basically said that she deserves to be in hell or something along those lines, right? Like if she did that, she deserves wherever she is in hell or whatever. And so that, when you hear that, you're grieving for your lost wife at this point. And you hear that, like, he just completely lost all faith, literally lost faith in God. And I can't say I blame him, after that. So, because he wants to believe she's going somewhere, right? Going to a place that's good. You want to have that peace of mind as you're grieving, and if you think she's going to hell, because some fucking priest said so, that fucks with you,
And this is 1945. You know what I mean? Like, this is like not some new age, 60s, 70s, whenever they had the new age, I don't know, movement or what the fuck you want to call it. This is 1945, World War II vets. People who didn't have, for all the thinking of this time, it's pretty much black. It's a very black and white time, at least from my understanding. These people aren't overall open-minded, but yet we see even the dick of, not the dick, but Paul, this, super G.I. Joe military guy, Thunderbolt Ross motherfucker, is down with someone who's gay in 1945.
Right.
And I think even his motivations too are about his friends. That's who he cares about. He'll protect his boys.
Yep.
And his tribe. He'll protect his government. He's a fucking soldier. He's used to carrying out orders and like, let's not fuck around. Let's deal with the fucking problem. So Bob doesn't get a vote, and as things progress, he sees the problem. He's a natural solution.
Yep.
But obviously they all knew the wife, and I thought Larry Fessenden looked like $1 million. Really acted fucking great.
Even how do I say, like, even his performance after something happens to him, was still great.
Oh my lord!
Right?
That's all I really want to say about it. Yeah, it's I feel like waiting till the end on this to sort of like make my true feelings known it might do a disservice, but I'm just gonna say I fucking love this movie, and the characters were so fucking good, all the performances fucking phenomenal. Like, and I've seen a lot of these actors in films before, and this, I feel like it was maybe the most intimate and like personal film that I've seen a lot of them in, and that really showed through. Like, and one other thing I wanted to mention earlier. So Ted Gagan had constructed the screenplay with his late father, Michael, who is a quadriplegic Air Force veteran and U.S. history teacher. So this is a very personal film for Ted, I would imagine. So when I read that, I was like, oh, okay, like I can see why there's a lot of care put into this, and to how carefully he probably constructed it, and seeing, his last film, I think we said was 7 years ago. His last film was Mohawk in 2017. So basically 6 years ago. That's a pretty good amount of time between films. But I wonder if he was really focused on perfecting this. Like there could be an aspect of it that, to honor his father, he really wanted to do this film, and part of that was, to really nail the script and to nail the performances and everything, So, yeah, there was a lot of really good stuff in this. And the inclusion of the seance, I think, just added a really interesting element to it, because it took these characters that we already sort of like are vibing with. Like, okay, we like the relationship between them. We see what's going on here. Like, but then you kind of throw a monkey wrench into things. And then we kind of get to see their true colors in a sense, right? Like in the seance, Hawk is trying to connect with his wife, because once again, we talked about this thing where the priest had said his wife was in hell, and he basically swore off, Christianity or Catholicism. What, I can't remember which, but basically swore off God and religion. And he had been hearing about, you could connect with your loved ones through a seance. And so he wanted to try it. And he needed his friends. He needed a circle of people he trusted, literal circle, because they have a circle, and they're not supposed to break it. Everyone's holding hands while they're doing the seance. And so once the seance happens, I won't say too much more after that, because I really feel like that's enough, and saying too much more would really kind of do a bit of a disservice to the film. But there's a scene where Larry basically pukes up some ectoplasm, which was kind of fucking awesome. And I love the inclusion. And once again, Tanya is very familiar with a lot of esotericism, whether it's witchcraft, seances, Ouija boards, tarot cards, all these sorts of things. So, and this one worked for her in terms of what they did. It's, there's nothing like in Two Witches, maybe not quite so accurate with some of the stuff, but with this, it really worked for her. And for me, who's someone who doesn't know quite as much, I didn't feel like any of this took me out of it. Like, I didn't feel that what they were doing seemed like, something out of the ordinary. All that stuff. I thought the seance scene was great, handled incredibly well, and I love the banging on the door and like all the things that come with it. What did you guys think about the seance scene? I guess from that point forward.
I liked it. I think a little bit of mood lighting would have helped a little bit. You got a seance going on in broad, in a lit up room. The ambiance is kind of taken out of it a little bit. You know, if it was just if they had like candlelights going on and something like that, something to give it a little bit of a mood for the viewer.
Well, sorry, I was just going to add, these were people who weren't savvy with this, so I feel like that was part of it for me, at least, is that if this is something that they had done a lot of, then maybe they would have kicked up the fucking mood lighting. I think he had a hard enough time convincing him to do it. To me, that made sense, and there was enough light to kind of still show shadows, but also make the effect of candles lighting up on their own effective. That's just my take on it.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. Okay, I'll accept that. And also because he had, because Hawk had no idea what he was doing. He freely admitted that.
Yeah, he didn't know if it was going to work.
He didn't know it was going to work, so he freely admitted it, and he just knew what he had to do. The lighting and everything like that. That just sets the mood. So he just threw that aside and said, "Let's just get to the meat of the matter." So okay, I'll accept that. But other than that, okay, outside of that, I thought the seance scene was done pretty well. It's not particularly scary, not in terms.
Yeah.
Not in terms of like say like the Changeling, which has an excellent seance scene, but this one was okay. It had a couple of I don't want to say scares, but a couple of scenes that'll surprise you. I think it's done well.
Yeah.
I think they handled it pretty good.
How about you, Raven Shadow?
No, I think it at least for this movie, I think it did a good job of establishing the rules, of what you can do and can't do. And, I had no idea what this movie was really about. I saw the thumbnail poster, but okay, whatever. The wife died. I've been doing some reading. I'm like, oh, is this where it's going? And I like that. I like that, convincing the crew to do it. And when shit started to happen, I thought the effects were done really well. I thought, and I think that a character we haven't talked about is the house. Just the sets, and I thought it was, I liked all the lights, the kind of like the sconces and the fucking candles. And what I noticed too in the hallway, did you notice the fucking gun rack right by the door with 2 fucking rifles?
Yeah.
Not secured. Nope. Just rifles there.
Not in 1945, especially with some Krauts living next door, right?
We ain't locking up shit, motherfucker. But once they kind of got into it, and I was along for the ride, and I thought the effects were really good.
Yeah, there's something that happens in the seance that I thought looked really really good.
Yeah.
Oh yes, yeah.
A couple things actually. Yeah. So, I think that stuff worked, and so after there's something big that happens at the end of the seance that we just can't say. It's just too spoilery, and the sort of shock of what it is really impactful. It's like, whoa, what the fuck,
Yeah. It changes the complete dynamic of the film.
Completely.
What it does is that it turns from a ghost story into a drama, and
with the undercurrent of ghosts. But yes, you're right.
Yeah, and I feel like they leaned on that drama aspect a little bit too long. I just feel like, it don't get me wrong, it's well written, well acted, everything else, it's good, but I just think that the drama overpowered the horror of this film. There could have been some scenes here where you could still inject the drama in, but I think a little bit more horror would have played itself out a little bit better, because it feels like it's completely abandoned at this point.
So, I mean, I certainly hear what you're saying. For me, I feel like the horror takes a different angle.
Yeah.
And it becomes
yeah, no, I get what you're saying. The horror becomes something different. It becomes, instead of a ghost horror, it becomes a horror of a different style, a different genre.
Yeah.
I get that.
And it's almost, the seance is almost symbolic of calling forth ghosts, and kind of what it says in the tagline, I think, is very accurate. The ghosts of your past would like to have a word with you. You know, it's not saying too much. I'm not giving anything away, but I feel like the seance was mostly, you know, yeah. I mean, it happened. You know, they did it, but it was symbolic in that it sort of was the impetus for ghosts of the past to sort of start to come out.
Like kind of so maybe I might even know the words, but maybe because like we knew that Paul and
Archie,
well, Uncle Larry and Paul knew each other. They made a
Hawk.
Hawk. We knew each other since we were 8 years old.
Right.
You
right.
know?
Yeah.
And they're on the other. They're at least maybe early 60s, maybe late 50s, early 60s, probably now. So a long fucking time.
Yeah.
I would think. So, and these friends all have, and Archie too, all this stuff, and it's like the war's over, they're coming together, and they make a point they haven't got together since the wedding of Marla and Bob.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Which might have been a long time. So you get a crew that's been down with each other for a long time. Let's say at least, you know, Paul and Hawk as kids, and maybe they met the rest of the folks in the service. Their lives change, different directions. One guy is still in the military, obviously. You know, it was like that. Maybe that friendship still has a breaking point, you know, or a point where they're still bound by their friendship and their loyalty, but maybe it's just kind of like, okay, well, this motherfucking thing, you know what I'm trying to say? Like it put a strain on their bond, or unleashed some things.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Yeah. I'm trying to think about how to talk about this from this point forward without saying too much. And I think what I will say, because there is another character introduced into the story about a third of the way through. And so this character, it sort of makes the true colors of these characters start to come out. And the thing I really liked about this movie is not only was it a period piece, but I feel like it had a lot to say about our current day.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, and you can look at it like when you say ghosts of the past, you could look at your ancestors, you could look at your parents, your grandparents, go further back. And you can sort of look at how they viewed the world and look at how we view the world now. And I feel like that is something that's very indicative of this time. A lot of people haven't sort of taken that look inside themselves to see, you know, like I may have said some shitty stuff in the past and I regret it and I won't, and that's not who I want to be now. You know, and especially as it relates to people who I guess others, like people who are different from us. I guess is maybe the best way to put it. And it was really interesting to see how that sort of played itself out, and how some of the characters really kind of revealed their true colors. While the thing is, with this other character, and I feel like I'm being very vague, and I'm doing that on purpose, but
Doing good.
with this other character, all of these people had preconceived notions of that character, and no, maybe not all, but most had preconceived notions of who this character was and what they were all about. So that made for some interesting interplay between the characters at that point, because this character like had a people thought one thing, but on the surface it looked like something else, so they were using their preconceived notions about this type of person without taking into account what they were presenting or what they're saying. It was almost like their bias overruled their logical thinking, right?
Yeah. It was paranoia.
Yep.
It was based on paranoia. It was based on what they were taught, and not letting go of the past. That they feel like, shit is still going on. That things are not over. Things are still happening, and no matter what amount of convincing or proof that you give them, nothing is going to work. In fact, it's very it's very indicative of what's going on today. It's kind of strange in that regard, huh?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's I just wanted to also add that the thing about this character is the thing I really liked about it was this character. There was a reason why people felt the way they did about this character. But if you look at it on the surface as a viewer from the outside, as we are as viewers of the film, there was enough there to make you uncertain if she was telling the truth. So it made you really wonder if this character was being honest or not. And then if they weren't being honest, maybe the feelings towards this character were legitimate, right? Like, so it's just one of those things that it really didn't say this person is right or this person is wrong. It really just sort of presented this, and it added so much tension to it by not taking a side, I guess, if you will, and not showing the viewer how they should think or feel. I feel like that added to the tension.
Oh,
and
for sure.
Go ahead.
Okay, MJ, go. Good. You.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just going to say, and I thought Anne Ramsey's character had great interaction with this person.
Yeah.
Just incredible, and just so full of emotion and trust, and just saying, look, we're in this alone. You got to trust me. That's we're being very, very, very vague about it. But you listen to us, then you watch the movie, then you realize why we're being so vague. But I thought Anne Ramsey's interaction with this character was just stellar. Very good stuff.
Yeah, it's and that's the thing is I wish we could talk more about the character, but it's there's so many tells in what this character says that makes you wonder if they're being honest or not. You know, sort of repeating like a story precisely the same way every time makes you wonder, like,
Yeah.
Okay, that seems rehearsed, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I remember in one scene, I'm like, oh, did they? Oh, this one line of dialogue that character says.
Yeah, referring to somebody, right?
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, whoa, wait a minute now, and that's the thing, like, I think even a character like Polly's character, who might seem the most heel-like, maybe.
Yeah.
End of the day, he's still supporting his friends, and
sure. I mean, that doesn't make him a good person necessarily. It makes him a good friend, right?
Which is once again is fair too. You could support your friends for not good reasons,
right? Right.
You know, but like their connection is it. You can understand it. So it's not just like, you know, zero to like, who's that? Isn't every zombie movie has that one dick military guy that escalates really quickly.
Yeah.
Like, who's the famous one in one of the Romero pictures? Isn't there like a general or a captain?
Yeah, in Day of the Dead, I don't remember his. Do you remember his name?
Rhodes.
Rhodes.
Yeah. Rhodes.
Yep.
You know, there's always that. Okay, you know, this is going to escalate quickly, but they are looking out for each other, and even if one friend may have put them all in this position, making, you know, very selfishly, but I love the tension, and you didn't know, it really could have went any way with any one character, and that was the ride. That was like MZ or Wolfie, and it's not me, one of you two that said it, where it changes to the drama. The drama is like fucking A, with that backdrop of supernatural chicanery.
Yeah, and that's always sort of the overriding thing that's in the background. You know, and especially as we get to see like some supernatural stuff happening, like it's just to remind you that there's something else going on there, you know?
I actually not forgot, but like I was more focused on the drama and the tension of these characters. Like, oh yeah. You think back about the rules of the universe. What can happen if those rules aren't followed? I know that's vague.
Yeah.
If the rules are broken, if you will.
Yep.
You know,
So, and you know, obviously we can't talk about the ending either, but and the way it ended was equally shocking, I say. Just I like, with what happens with who does it was just completely like unexpected. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of really a lot of things I'd like to be able to discuss, but you know, I think it's just better for folks to go in cold on this one and to kind of you know, discover some of the stuff for themselves, because we're talking about it, like, you're going to watch it and expect it, and then it's just not going to be a surprise or be a shock. And I really think that would dilute the experience. So I don't want to take this away from people, you know, but yeah. Is there anything else? Like, so a couple other things, actually. Let's talk about, so the way it was shot, you know, we talked about this being, you know, sort of a one location shoot. I thought the way it was shot was, really, really well shot. Like, it made that room, they spent most of the film in one room. I feel like they made it feel really, it felt interesting. It never got boring. like, with the way that it was shot. And I just feel like that really did did service to the film and to make it look good. I really enjoyed the set design and the costumes. Like, everything felt to me like it was very much of the time, especially the way the house was decorated and things like that. So yeah, I think they did a really outstanding job with the technical aspects of it as well. And the writing, I thought, was maybe the strength. I feel like it was a really tight script, really well done, and it really gave the actors a lot to work with, to give them those great performances.
Yeah, I thought the set design was also equally just really, really well done, really good, really true. One thing that and this is not a judgment call, but just more of an observation, is that a majority of the action, even though it's taking place in one room, the majority of everything that goes on is taking place on one side of that room.
Yeah.
Very rarely do they go over to the other side of the room. And I couldn't figure out why. I think it might have to do with Anne Ramsey's character talking to this other person, this mystery person that we keep on bringing up, because that was taking place on the other side of the room, and maybe it was meant to convey some kind of isolation, away from everything else.
Yeah.
Whereas if it was spread out, whereas if the entire room was used, then at one point or any point, one of the characters could just come in and just disrupt what these two are talking about. So I feel like maybe that this was, the other side of the room was basically used just for this one particular scene, just to give a feeling of isolation and being alone. I could be wrong on that. I don't know.
That's a good call.
But that's how I viewed it.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. And I thought that some of the effects were really well done. Especially, I'll just say one wound in particular.
Yeah.
I would say two, but
two. Okay, okay, that's a good point. I think I know which other one you're talking about.
Kind of bookends, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. I think that was that was good. But that one was pretty exceptional. That big, shocking one.
Yeah.
And you ended up seeing that wound a pretty good amount throughout the duration.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they weren't being careful. They were showing it, and it was like, there it is.
And they knew too. They were like, but we're gonna just show another scene of this, just so in case you missed it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought all that stuff was. I mean, technically, this is a incredibly well made film, well constructed. It hit all the technical elements really, really well. Yeah. Is there anything else you guys wanted to call out about this? Anything about the performances that really stood out, or music, or anything along those lines?
No.
I thought the music was good. Very reminiscent of The Age.
Oh, sure. That was done well. It just, it takes a village, right? And I think everybody involved in this picture, everyone who was involved, it just looks, from my experience, did their fucking job, because it was just, you said, from the color to the set to the fucking acting to the costumes to, it just was. And I'm sure this isn't like an end game, type budget. I can't imagine what it cost, but I think all the money was on screen from, I can only assume, but it is a beautiful film.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think maybe we'll go ahead and go to the verdict on this one then, and let's make it official. and find out what everyone thought.
Trick or treat, baby. I wonder if people would say you're a trick or a treat.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
All right, it is verdict time. We're going to let you know whether Brooklyn 45 was a trick or a treat, and any final thoughts. Let's start with Monster Zero.
Well, first I thought that Brooklyn 45 was going to be the prequel to Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but
it's almost half, right?
Yeah, right?
It was 44 and a half.
Yeah, but I think I'm wrong on that. This was good. The performances are solid. The casting is excellent.
Yeah.
Wardrobe is good. Set design is good. The pacing of this film is very good. This movie has a lot going for it. It's not particularly scary. Don't look for scares. You're not going to get them here. But there are times where the tension is going to go up, and you're going to be on the edge of your seat. I was like that myself, and I found myself enjoying this film quite a bit. The practical effects are quite good. Very little CGI. Whatever CGI is involved in this film, it's for a purpose, so it's not overused. I love the claustrophobic feeling of just being in one room. And with all these people in this room, that just makes it even smaller. And that lends itself to even more of a claustrophobic feel. The ending kind of surprised me. It's not one of the all-time great surprise endings of all time, but it did come out of nowhere for me. The soundtrack is good. But I do just feel like the horror took a backseat to the drama. I think the drama kind of overwhelmed the film a little bit, and it changed from one kind of a horror to a different kind of a horror, and then became something of like, I'll just go to the one that I keep on using, the Hateful Eight, where somebody is not exactly who they claim to be. Now, that's not the major crux of the film, but it is a part of it. That being said, this is a good movie. I will give this a treat. I think it's recommended. And sit back and enjoy yourself. Have a good time. 90 minutes of fun. There you go.
90 minutes of fun. That's going on the box.
Yep.
All right, Michael Ravenshadow.
I don't know if 90 minutes of fun is
yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, it's good, but I don't know if it's fun good.
Yeah. This is not fun, but but that said, great. I want this cast to be like the Christopher Guest crew. I just want a new movie every 6 years with these fucking same people in different roles. Like, I'm the boat driver now, and see what happens. I don't know. But the cast is fantastic. I love the friendship. They were all built characters, and I don't think there was there was no stereotypical cliched performance or character. I think you got enough of their backstory, enough of their interaction where you can kind of see, and I think every character can be relatable and to think about their viewpoint or their position, and I think that's what was interesting. And like I said, there's the gore that's there is pretty awesome. The effects that are there are very unique and just interesting. I just liked how it was done, and I can't recall. It sucks because I want to talk about it, but I want you folks to see it. So, a nice take on a certain type of image, if you will. And yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. And oddly enough, I love the end credits a lot. I really popped for the way they did the end credits, right?
Yeah.
MZ, you muted.
Yeah, I muted MZ.
Yes.
yes, I liked them.
Good call. Good call.
But yeah, it was like when it happened, I'm like, oh, I see what they're doing there, and I really enjoyed that. So yeah, no, definitely, it's a definite treat. Check it out. Not 90 minutes of fun, but maybe it's tension.
That's going on the box art. Not 90 minutes of fun.
A knee slapping good time.
Yeah. Well, 90 minutes of fun with a line through it. Not 90 minutes of fun.
Shit. I don't know if you guys noticed. I found Ted Gagan had posted on Twitter a background, a Zoom background from the movie. So now I changed my background on the live video.
I was just checking that out because I'm like, Wolfie, the one thing in that background does not
I
seem
know.
like something
Yeah,
have.
that's right here, right?
Yeah.
The American flag. Yeah, no.
Which is weird to say, like.
Yeah, that would not be up in my house. Yeah, I just thought, I'd be in an old Victorian house where a seance took place for the rest of the show. I said it already. I really, really love this movie. It feels like such a personal film, and I mean that in multiple ways. Personal in the way these characters sort of were had relationships with one another, and also that this was something that was probably near and dear to Ted Gagan's heart, with kind of writing it with his father, who has passed. So, it just overall feels like a very personal film, and I like the backdrop of the recent end of war and how that kind of plays with bias and just sort of like ingrained thinking. Like, just because something is the way it has been doesn't mean it always is going to be that way. So it just brings up some really interesting aspects of that I thought were really interesting in a film like this. And I know, MZ, I know you had mentioned that you wish it leaned a little bit more into the horror and less drama. But I feel that was an advantage because it set up this scenario, in a seance scenario, and then it sort of built off of that because of that, like, that led, it was a series of events. And due to that, I can't even talk about the series of events. It's super spoilery, but something drastic happens, something shocking happens, and then something else shocking happens basically kind of from that. And then that kicks off like a whole sort of different story where it's the ghosts of our pasts that are haunting us, and not necessarily, like, I almost said physical ghosts, which is kind of funny to say. But what I mean is sort of like, like actual ghosts, like, scary, spooky ghosts. So I really like that sort of juxtaposition of, okay, we've done a seance, we've introduced a ghost into things, and now we're getting a different definition of ghosts almost. So that I really enjoyed, and I thought it made for an really interesting picture, and really also I think it just, I don't know, like, it just makes you think. It's one of those movies that makes you think. I watched this movie that takes place in 1945, and it makes me think about the way that I approach things in 2023, and bias is real, and we have bias, whether it's inherited from family, from friends, from training, in this case, in like the military, or just various ways that we're influenced, whether it's social media or whatever. And I think that it's good to always kind of question that of like, okay, well, I feel this way, but now that I'm thinking about it from a different angle, should I still look at it that way? So it's just like reevaluating your stance on things and constantly reevaluating your stance. Because if you don't do that, if you decide something is one way and it will always be that way, like I feel like that's when you're old. Like when you stop growing and stop examining yourself, at that point you are old. You're done because you're not moving forward. You're stuck. So that to me was something that really sort of resonated with me. And I think that we all should sort of do that. And I'm not, this isn't the more you know moment or whatever. It's just that I feel like people should examine the way they view things and not be influenced by others all the time, or influenced by social media, or by what fucking certain politicians say or certain celebrities or whatever. Just, you know what? Hold it against your own lens and see how it makes you feel, and get all the information you can, and that's the thing. I feel like people are just kind of taking from one source and that's kind of it. And then, I don't know. I feel like I'm going on a little bit of a diatribe here. I didn't really mean to go on, but that's something this film made me think about, all that, and how it's good to sort of re-examine how you feel about things, always, because something that was might not always be. So I think that's sort of my takeaway, and I really like how that was presented. And I thought this is a great flick. I loved We're Still Here, but I think this might be Ted Geoghegan's best film, and it certainly is his most personal, I can tell. But yeah, I really love this, and I hope he doesn't wait 6 years to make another movie, because this was super successful and really well done. I think this isn't going to be for everyone. I will readily admit that. As MZ said, he, even though he wanted a little bit more horror, this still worked for him and he liked it. But if you're wanting horror throughout, like straight horror for 90 minutes, you're not going to get it here. But if you're buying in and you're along for the ride, there's a lot of tension. There's a lot of food for thought here. I absolutely think it's worth your while. So, yeah, big treat for me. It is on Shudder. You guys can go check it out right now, right this moment. What are you waiting for? So there you go. That is our discussion of Ted Geoghegan's Brooklyn 45. Go check it out. All right, next up for next week. So we did a film. It's interesting. There's sort of maybe a connection here between these two films. But we did a film about the end of World War II. And so this film actually takes place also at the end of World War II. I think World War II is still going on at this time in this film. So it's a little different. But this is a film I've been actually really looking forward to for a while. It played in theaters for a bit and hit VOD. I think it's just on that like premium VOD shit. You got to pay the big bucks to check this one out. But it seems like it could be worth it. And, we'll obviously give you our opinions next week. But the film I'm talking about is directed by Jalmari Hollander. And trying to think. I thought he did something else. Yeah, he did Rare Exports.
Oh, okay.
So for anyone who has seen Rare Exports, same director, and the name of this film is Sisu. Sisu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot going on about this movie.
Yeah. When an ex-soldier who discovers gold in the Lapland wilderness tries to take the loot into the city, Nazi soldiers led by a brutal SS officer battle him. If you guys have seen a trailer for this, you're going to see some glorious Nazi violence. Nazis getting destroyed is what it looks like.
Yeah.
So Raven Shadow, he's going to get to live out his power fantasy next week. So Sisu, we're going to check that out next week. It's on Premium VOD, so give it a look and check it out. And if you guys want to give us your thoughts, feel free to send them our way next week. Podcast at trickortreatradio.com. We would love to hear from you. All right, so that's what's happening next week. Now for this week, we have some voice messages. And let's see, we also have a video as well.
Fliggity-doo-doo.
So let me... Fuck. I know what that is, and I know what that's from, but like people out there are probably like, what the fuck is he saying? What is are those words? Fliggity doo doo.
Fliggity doo doo.
Say it really slow.
Fliggity doo doo doo.
Yeah, there you go. You still want to keep saying it?
I like it better when I say it. That's the sexier, right?
Sure, if you say so. Oh man, I messed up with this thing. Let me let me kick it out. Okay, that's better. So let me go ahead and add this now. This is such a pain in the ass. Okay. All right, I think we got it good here now. So okay, so we're gonna hear from our boy Casual Noob.
Hey boy.
And he had sent in a video review of Brooklyn 45, which is apparently the prequel to Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And one thing actually I forgot to mention, but earlier in the show, like in the first hour, he had said that he saw Dice in 99, 2000, somewhere around there in Brooklyn, and it was glorious.
Shit.
All right, so let's check in with Casual Noob Saibot, and let's see what he thinks of Brooklyn 45. Oh, sound might help.
45, Brooklyn 45. I've been sitting here trying to think what to say about it. There's really not much to say about this movie, I feel. It wasn't a bad movie. It reminded me of, basically, I got the impression of a Twilight Zone episode where basically
I see that.
The paranoia of the town and their prejudices against people who were basically foreigners. In this movie, the people that they were prejudiced against, they believed were Nazis living in America. And these were people who basically, this happens in 1945, right after World War II. So the people in the movie basically are military. So obviously, being in the war, they're going to be, prejudiced against people from Germany. So that's kind of the premise of this movie, is that a man who is military, his wife has a German neighbor, and she believes the German neighbor is a Nazi. And the husband does not believe her. And no one believes her. And she winds up, she winds up taking her life. Or possibly not. You don't really get a definitive on that one. But because she does, basically her life ends, whether it was by her own hand or not. The husband basically can't come to terms with it and brings his friends, his ex-military friends, to his place, who obviously knew him and the wife, and wants to hold a seance. And in holding the seance, things go wrong with the seance. Some supernatural stuff happens. I mean, for the most part, it was a good movie. It wasn't too scary. There wasn't really a part where I was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I can't watch this. This is really horrible." So it wasn't too bad that way. It was an interesting commentary. I guess you could also take nowadays. I mean, the topic is always there of, when we have people that we go to war with, especially in our country here, do we go too far in holding those things that happened to the people who live here when maybe they're not even attributed with that, but because they're from those countries that we were fighting, as a nation, we have a natural prejudice against people from countries that we are at war with. So there's a good commentary there and a good lesson to be learned there, because in the movie you don't know whether or not the woman actually is a Nazi, and because of that, so you're kind of always left out. So it wasn't as much of a horror movie, I would say, as much as it was a movie on social commentary, I guess is the term. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed this movie. It was good for what it was. It wasn't a bad movie. I just don't think it was a great movie. So I would call it a tepid treat, is I guess the term for kind of a treat, but definitely not a trick. So yeah, that's my verdict. Casual Noob Cyber signing out.
All right, Casual Noob. Thanks, man. Appreciate your thoughts as always. Let's go ahead and get us back in the picture here, if I can do that. All right. So,
Do you try turning it off, turn it back on?
did I try unplugging it?
No, I found out.
Kicking out the plug?
It turns out that doesn't work.
Kicking out the plug doesn't work.
Yeah. Kick out the plugs, motherfucker.
Yeah, it didn't work earlier. Oh, shit. I fucking did it again. All right. Cool. Well, I appreciate that, Casual Noob. It's always good to hear your thoughts. And it seems like he was kind of with you, MZ. Like he would have liked maybe some more horror. But he didn't dislike the movie. In fact, he appreciated some aspects of it. So it's cool. All right. Let me see. Sorry, I was reading. Angry had a comment in the chat.
What did he say?
Well, I was just. What the fuck? I keep. The camera wouldn't. The scene wouldn't change back to us, so I hit it more than once, and now it just keeps changing. So there we go. He said, "Oh hell yeah! I did not play her. I did not play here. Oh, sorry. He's talking about Sisu. Okay. All right. Yeah, well, I'm not sure if it's related to what Casual Noob is saying, but there you go. Good to hear from Casual Noob. Always good to hear from him and hear his thoughts. Let's see. We got some other voice messages here. I just got to queue them up real quick. All right. Next, I think we'll hear from Evil Corny. What do you say? You want to hear from the man, Raven Shadow?
Yeah, boy.
What did he get you?
Friendship.
Friendship.
But no fucking mugs this year. No, I've got mugs in the past. I got awesome mugs. It's gonna be awesome Deadpool mug. I have a Batman mug, which also too could poke your eye out.
Yeah.
But no, Coney's a very nice man.
He is.
We
Well,
talked
you talked yesterday?
the other day. What day we talked, Coney? I think it was.
You don't even remember. What a friend.
It's been fucking weird, Johnny, over here. We've been up fucking weird times. The clocks are down. I don't know what day it is. A lot of paint fumes.
All right. Well, let's hear from Evil Corny. All right. How about that?
Thank you.
Hey, guys. I really enjoyed Brooklyn 45. I did not know what to expect when I started this film. I went in fresh, other than knowing that you all picked it for this week and it was on Shudder. I didn't have a clue what it was about. It's real neat seeing, like, I guess like 12 Angry Men or Hateful Eight, like with, like a supernatural thing happening. And I can't remember too many times that this has happened in a film, but I really enjoyed it. So I'm giving it a treat. Wolfie, MZ, hope both of y'all had good birthdays, this year. And I hope you have many more. Evil Corny out.
Thanks, Corny.
Oh, I thought that he usually does like a "What up, Raven Shadow?" Not today though. He doesn't give a fuck about you.
Oh.
It's all about me and MZ.
Yeah, well, it wasn't his birthday.
Yeah. Well, it's too bad you're not your birthday.
Yeah, but it's much more impressive when I get a birthday because it's like he's still around.
He's still around.
I just feel like it's more impressive that
you lived another year.
Yeah, I'm just saying. What can I give away my record? You know what I mean?
Hey, it's no lie. That is impressive.
They think.
All right. Next up, we're going to hear from Arkham. Josh.
Hey, Trick or Treat Radio guys. It's Arkham Josh here, calling in with a little bit of catch up. I think last week you guys did Renfield. I think I had mentioned before, I actually projected an advanced screening of Renfield around the same time that I did the advanced screening of Evil Dead Rise.
Oh, yeah.
I just flat out think it's a treat and a recommend. It was super fun, great characters, good acting, a lot of good, like, moody, like, set pieces. The gore was fun. I don't know. There's just nothing more I can add to it other than what you guys had said. Totally a treat and a recommend. This week's film, Brooklyn 45. This was actually an interesting film. I thought they really did good. I know it pretty much takes place in one room, but I think they did good at like establishing the period. They did good with the set decoration and the costuming. The actors were all good. I just don't know if it fully worked for me, because it's one of those things where it is vague. In the end, you really don't know if people accused of certain things actually did certain things. So, I don't know. I really like the acting. I liked a lot of the effects. I really liked the setup. I just thought that the conclusion, it was a little iffy on me, I'm not sure what the actual message was that it was trying to send, So, I don't know. I'm going to say it's a tepid treat and a tepid recommend. If you have Shudder, check it out. And but I wouldn't recommend anybody go out of their way to see it. It was great, though, to see Larry Fessenden make it so far, spend so much time in a movie. Usually we get him for one scene or two, and then he dies. At least this one, we get a real good full Fessenden performance. So that is great. You know what? I recommend it just off of that. So, tepid treat, and I recommend just for the Fessenden performance. Other than
funny.
that, I hope you guys are all doing well. Hopefully, getting to talk to you guys again sometime soon. If it doesn't rain this Sunday, I'm actually going to be up in the Worcester area selling records and stuff at Ralph's Rock Diner at their Worcester Punk
Whoa.
Fleet. If it does rain this Sunday, then I'll be there the following Sunday, apparently. So, any friends of the show in the area, pop on down. One last thing is, have any of you been watching on Disney the Electric Mayhem series?
No,
So,
I've heard really good things.
I'm a big Muppets fan, especially the Electric Mayhem, and tons of fun, always loved them. The Electric Mayhem series is hilarious. It's got a lot of great guest stars. But there was two things that really stuck out. One is, two things that they reference that kind of include them in the world of the Muppets officially. One is the Nightmare River Bottom Band from Emmett Otter's Big Band Christmas.
Nice.
That one, you can see that coming. It's also Jim Henson. So it's good to know that the Electric Mayhem have come across the Nightmare River Bottom Band and had interactions with them. But the best part is when they name drop the Feebles and ask Peter Jackson how they are, because they hadn't seen them in years.
Holy
shit! I think make a reference to how hard they party. So now the Feebles are officially part of the overall Muppets universe.
What the fuck?
So I think that is quite an achievement for all of us in some small way. That somehow the Feebles have been recognized by Disney. So, all right.
Funny.
I hope you guys all get as big a kick out of that as I did. And I don't know. Hopefully I'll talk to you guys in person again soon, and you guys all have a great night. Bye.
Well, thanks, Josh, first of all, for calling in, and it's always good to hear from you. You know what's funny? I saw somebody post a screenshot of Peter Jackson talking to a Muppet, and it said something about the Feebles, and I just thought someone memeified it. I was like, there's no fucking way that happened. So when Josh says that, it blows my mind, because I saw that, and I was like, oh, that's funny. Someone just made a meme of that and added that in. But that's fucking
wow.
Either I don't know if it's awesome or crazy or dumb. Like I'm like still in that weird. I don't know. What do you think, MZ? You're shaking your head.
If it's dumb, I don't know who the dumb lands on, because it sounds like everybody wins out in this.
Well, I thought maybe you'd be like, "Well, Peter Jackson's selling out even more." That's what I thought you'd say.
Well, he's already done that.
He's
I don't
too far
think
gone.
he could do. Yeah. I don't think he can do any more. But all I can say is that this should absolutely raise the Muppet stock. All I could say, Feebles and Disney and Muppets. It just. This is the first I'm hearing of it, the first I'm seeing of it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything of it, but this is my first interaction of it, and I'm like blown away. I don't know what to do.
So does that mean that Bletch is going to be hidden?
He'll be rooming with Big Bird.
Sebastian is going to sing "So to me, you might think it's very odd of me." That was Sebastian,
he'll be
right?
rooming with Bert and Ernie.
Yeah, roommates with them. Holy shit, that is fucking nuts. What was the fly's name? Shit.
Oh.
I forgot the fly's name. It was Harry the Hare.
Yeah, Harry the Rabbit.
Sebastian was the
Trevor the Rat.
Bring me was it Trevor? Bring me that. Whatever.
Wobbit.
Wobbit. Wobbit. Yeah.
Fly.
Oh, F.W. Fly. It says his name was.
Yeah, I knew his
That's
last
right.
name was Fly. F.W. Fly. Yep.
That is crazy. Holy shit. Do you have any thoughts, Raven Shadow, on this?
No, that's cool. I had no idea there was a Electric Mayhem show. Mary, we
Yeah,
gotta watch.
I've heard really good things about it.
But that's cool. That's gonna be a nod. Like, I mean, that's fascinating that they're in the same world. It's just a nice reference. You know what?
Yeah, it's a good reference, definitely.
It's not to be a crossover, but it's a way to, like, you know what, acknowledge, hey, you know.
That film is 34 years old now. Jesus Christ. And it still fucking holds up, too. Feebles, yeah.
Feebles is not 34 yet. No,
Best
no.
movie.
Yeah.
It's his best movie.
1989, Raven Shadow.
No, 89 is not. Oh, shit.
Dude,
Is
I
it?
just turned 47 today.
Don't argue with him, for Christ's sake. Jesus.
I still feel that was like 10 years ago. Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
So
broski.
that's crazy. That's I appreciate that info, Josh. It's interesting. And it's too bad. It's really funny what Josh said about Fessenden. We obviously can't confirm or deny anything, but it's too bad. I thought for sure Josh would dig that one, but hey, some stuff works for some and not for others. So there you go.
Sure.
All right, we have one more. I'm actually a little afraid to play this, but I'm not going to set it up because I don't know.
I'm a little worried too if I know what it is. I'm not. I got some weird cryptic messages lately. I'm not sure what this might be.
That's of course he sends it fucking upside down. Jesus Christ. It's a video. Hold on, give me a second here. I gotta fucking finagle this.
Finagle that bagel.
All right, I think that's right. Is that right? All right, I don't know. I don't even know. Maybe it's upside down now. Who knows? But okay. I don't even know how to set this up, but I'll just play it and then we'll talk about it after, I guess, because I don't even know anything about it. But let me just make sure it's going to start when I play it. It should. Okay, let me switch scenes here. We have a video that we're going to play, and we'll see how this goes.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. Producer. Happy birthday to you. Would you fuck me? I'd fuck me. This is your fault, motherfucker. This is your fault.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Wait, I gotta go to the fucking end. The fucking end. I need a screenshot of that.
Oh. Oh, it's fucking terrifying. And kind of sexy. Wow. I like a bottle of anything and it glazed up
to go. Holy shit. With Reverend Scott. Wow. I've seen it all now, folks. If you weren't watching the video, I don't think I can explain that.
Oh.
Oh shit. Well, anyways, that was Rocky. I wasn't sure what was going to happen, so I didn't want to say who it was from. But I do the Star Wars podcast with Rocky, and last night he was like, "Motherfucker, you didn't even say it was your birthday," and I said no because I think I said to him, I said because I wanted to save you the embarrassment of singing like Marilyn Monroe and looking like Marilyn Manson, and so now apparently that's what he did. Are you taking your shirt off, Raven Shadow? Does that get you hot?
I was getting all the vape is. No, my yeah. I'm gonna sing you a song, brother. Watch this one.
Oh my god.
No. My head thing was my cord was caught my my sweatshirt.
Oh god, don't fucking kick any more cords out.
I'm not touching nothing.
Oh, you know what? Shit, Corny watches us on the big screen, right?
Yeah, there you go, Corny.
Oh boy.
That.
Angry Townsman says, "Dude, no, not before I go to bed. Just no." Sorry, Angry. I didn't know what the contents of that was. Well, I never play anything ahead of time because I want genuine reactions when we do. There you go. That's a genuine reaction. I'm gonna go play that to Tanya right away. Mr. Producer. That was fucking troubling.
That was.
Oh man. All right. So, well, hey, that's the best way to end this fucking episode on, right?
That's fair.
Oh yeah.
So, all right. Well, that is going to do it for the episode. I think we said it already, maybe, but MZ, I told you yesterday, but happy belated birthday, my friend, and
happy birthday to you.
You don't look a day over, I don't know what, 42 and a half. Okay.
Thanks.
You should just start reversing the numbers of your age. So you're 25 now, right?
25.
Yep. There you go. How old are you, Raven Shadow? 17?
Over 21.
How old are your lungs?
I have the lungs of fucking Methuselah.
They're way over 21.
I'm now the youngest person on the show. Yeah, boy.
Well, you always were the youngest. You mean by age, right? Like,
yeah,
because in 6 months from now, we will be the same age again.
That's true.
But I will always be 6 months older than you.
And I'll be the young buck.
And MZ will be the old fuck.
Yeah.
No, I'm very glad you guys were hatched and co-created. You know what I mean?
Co-created, like it happened together is what you're saying. We're hatched out of the same fucking pod.
No, but I think different creative teams. You know what I'm saying? As I'm trying to tell you. You know what I mean? I'm glad you were live. You know?
Oh, well, thanks.
Beautiful. Well, guess what? The old man wants to get some sleep.
Yeah, I was gonna say if we don't end soon. Oh, and then it's fucking robotic. So there you go. See?
All right.
All right. Well, let's say goodbye, starting with MZ.
Yeah, that Reaver did.
All right, Raven Chow.
And thanks.
Yeah. Raven Chow.
All right, live fast, love hard. Thank you, Marion, and happy birthday, you fucks. Live fast, love hard. Survive with the mask on. Yeah.
There you go. Did you wear a mask when you painted?
No.
Survive with your do-rag on.
Maybe you should have. All right, well, that's going to do it for the episode. We appreciate you guys tuning in to, what fucking episode is this again? Episode 568. So we appreciate you guys tuning in. Let me get the music going. What am I doing? I'm a producer. I'm all out of sorts here because that fucking song. But yes, as always, we appreciate you guys tuning in. We appreciate everyone who sent in a voice message, everyone who sent in well wishes and happy birthday greetings and all that. So thank you guys so very much. And I played the wrong fucking thing, didn't I? Yeah. You know, I don't need to explain it, I guess. All my sort of settings got changed. So I had to redo the music, and so it's in a different spot now, and I just instinctively press the old spot. All right, that's going to do it. So next week we will be talking about Sisu, S-I-S-U, if you guys want to play along at home, premium VOD. And if you want to send in a voicemail, it is podcast@trickortreatradio.com. That's it. We're done. It's over. Go home. What are you waiting for? Go home. All right, we'll see you guys next week. See you.